Good evening, members of Spiritual Equipped Encounters. Those who tune into Restream, YouTube, Facebook, and for those who follow my show reel, TikTok's under APCS895. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to another episode of Brujos, Brujas y Lechuzas, which translates for warlocks, witches, and owls. Hope everybody is having a great Friday night. Uh, Tomorrow I will not be doing a live because I will be attending a dance, but we're gonna get it on tonight here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Me invite my guest or my co-host real quick. Uh, how you doing, brother Joel Burgess? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Great over there in the UK. Yeah, we had a long show last night, brother. We did a 6 hour show last night. We started at 9 and didn't finish till like 3 in the morning. It was a real good show last night. If you missed it, yeah, we went 6 hours, man. We got Wendy Wizdala. How you doing? So you're a real person. That are you sure you're a real person? Sure you don't belong to somebody else's camp? I don't know. Just by you saying hello, I'm a real person. It's kind of incriminating yourself, saying you're a real person. But I've seen your I've seen that name before, so I think I might have seen it. Either PRT, PRT, I don't know, somewhere. Everybody's welcome here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. So long y'all be good, you're more than welcome. You know. Yeah, I remember the last name. I've had an awesome day. I got me a fresh haircut for tomorrow when I go attend this dance. There you go. So I can check out my fresh haircut. Worked on my beard. So today I will not be wearing my little hat. So yeah, I got G'd up today at the barbershop. See, I can get better lighting in here. There you go. Let me lighten this up a little bit. It's trying to fix this. I don't want it too bright, but then I don't want it too dark. See, it was doing just fine, and I don't know what happened. It got dark all of a sudden. As soon as my stepson opened the door, it got dark in here. I don't know what people you're wrong with, Wendy. There's a lot of people that they come in here and they're running with some other kind of people that dislike me, I guess, because of course, when you're doing podcast or this kind of works, you're always going to have somebody that's going to hate the works that you do, especially when it's good works. They don't bother to come in and check it out for themselves. What we're talking about here, that I'm my own person. If I have to say something or say something to someone, is because I'm directing what was if somebody is targeting me, I'm going to defend myself back. But at the same time, I'm my own person. I make my own decisions. I don't follow nobody's orders or anything like that. When I used to do that is when I was in the military, but I don't do that. I'm the creator of spiritual encrypted encounters, and if I have something to say to somebody, it's because I want to say it to that individual. But I don't. I'm not in all this drama stuff that people are trying to get me involved in. I'm doing my own thing here in spiritual encrypted encounters. That's what I do. I do this works. I've been doing this works for a while now, for a very long time. Let me share this live feed with the groups that I share to on Facebook real quick. There's cousin Jesse. There you go. What's up, cousin?
What's going on, cousin? Hello, everybody. Let's see who's in here. Hello, Joel. Hello, Wendy.
Sister Wendy's here. I've seen her Sister Wendy before.
Hello, Annette. Hello, Rallyma. Hello, Jackie Hall. Welcome. Welcome to Lechuza and Bruja Friday. How's everybody's Friday going on? I hope you didn't run into a Lechuza or a Bruja. Bruja. Cool, Joel. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Annette. Raleigh Mom. How y'all doing? Wendy Guizdala. I hope I pronounced that right. Luckily, I don't have any front upper teeth, so I didn't almost cut my tongue out trying to pronounce that. Well,
So I earlier, I was listening to this song, and I think this song defines me of when the things that happen around me. I think I'm a play it for y'all in a moment of how I feel as an individual, especially when I try to put on the good works. And there's so much people that like drama. What I witnessed. They want to bring me into drama, and they're going back and forth with each other or whatever. And the only thing I can say is two negatives will not make a positive, right?
hello, Monica.
Two negatives is not going to make a positive. So I had run into this. I even put it on because I like the song. So I want to play it for y'all real quick. Let me see. I'm allowed to share it real quick. Let me find it. I hope they don't ban me for it.
Man, my screen
uh,
is frozen.
was that?
My screen, there we go. It was frozen. I was looking like this. I almost started singing Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, Domo.
So, so here we go. Let me play the song. This song it defines me just to let the people know that try to come up against me that you're not bothering me or phasing me at all because of this. And I want to play the song because I believe this defines me of who I am as an individual. and how I stand against people that come up against me. I just don't pay no mind to them. It's like it's a story of my life. I've had negative people, unclean spirit, all kinds of things coming after me. I just don't accept the negativity. So here we go. This is a song that I wanted to share with y'all. Uh, and it's a short reel. Let me see if it plays.
World influence you, be the change you wanna see. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let hatred steal your peace. Don't let the world influence you, be the change you wanna see. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let hatred steal your peace. Don't let the world influence you, be the change you wanna see. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let anger steer your tongue. Don't let hatred steal your peace. Don't let the world influence you, be the change you wanna see.
There you go. I
Cool
just
song,
wanted
man.
to share, I just wanted to share that. What it's saying. That's me, man. That's what I tell people is like, why are you targeting me? It's like uh, you're not gonna get nowhere because I don't accept any form of negativity. I could pretend I'm Sergeant Cias, like if I'm mad or something, but I could pretend, which means that I'm not really mad. So it's like all these people that keep on trying to come at me in a negative way. It just failed attempts, guys. You're going to continue to fail because I don't accept any form of negativity. Like I said, if I had something to say to somebody, I'll say it. But but I'm not saying nothing to you, then I'm not your enemy. I don't have nothing against you. If I'm not saying nothing against you, then you shouldn't be saying nothing against me. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think if I said something against somebody, it's because somebody's come at me in a negative way, and I have to address the issue. But I think from now on, I'm not even going to address nothing. I'm just going to maintain my heavenly love foundation and not worry about the people coming at me in a negative way. I'm just saying that right now. You're hearing it from Brother Abe Cias, that if I'm not saying nothing to you, then I don't got nothing against you. And it should be likewise. You should have nothing against me. There's this thing that the people are playing, that they play the games of going back and forth, pointing fingers, posting posts about what somebody said and all this crap. To me, that's, that's bullshit. You know, it's like they want to continue to have something, right? Like lingering on stuff. That's negative, like negativity. I don't like that. I rather maintain my heavenly love foundation and just move on forward. So I'm letting you know whoever's here, and if there's somebody infiltrating for people that dislike me because they represent them or whatever, I'm telling you right now, if if I have something to tell you, I will tell you. I'll address you. If you're hearing it from other people, then it's not kind of coming out of my mouth. It's not me. I'm just letting you know. So just let me do my works in peace here in spiritual encrypted encounters, and we'll be good. That's it. All I'm saying is I haven't lost nothing. Matter of fact, the Heavenly Father blesses me daily. But some of you that have come up against me, y'all have lost a lot. Y'all have lost a lot. But that's not dealing with me. That's dealing with how you are as an individual. If you dwell in negativity, well, that's all you're going to be receiving is negative things. You're not going to be getting blessed in any kind of way, shape, or form. So I'm just letting you know right now. I have nothing against nobody. I'm just trying to do this work here in spiritual encrypted encounters. You know, uh, if somebody is trying to say that I say something or trying to talk in favor of me, well, that's not coming out of my mouth. That's coming out of their mouth. Like I said, if I have something against somebody, I'll address the individuals. And that's all I have to say. I'd rather maintain my Heavenly Love Foundation than be going back and forth with somebody. That's ridiculous. That's childish.
Puros chismes, puros chismes.
That's what I'm trying to say, Sister Monica. That I don't have nothing against anybody. That's the thing, and I see the things that people are doing. It's not just people; it's people in general. The people that dwell in negativity. You're not going to get too far. You can continue to dwell in negativity and this going back and forth thing and drama and all this stuff. That's not going to get you nowhere in life. Yeah, like it says in the Bible, Beelzebub cannot cast out Beelzebub, which means negativity against negativity is not going to make it positive. You know, all I'm saying is I like the works that we're doing, not I that we're doing here because it's me, my cousin, and other people that come in and be on the panel here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and we try to help out as many people as possible. And I don't ask for a single penny from anybody because that's not what I'm about. It's not about the tithe for me. I'm just here to be your friend, to be a mentor to whoever wants, considers me that, because of the spiritual wisdom and knowledge that not just I, but cousin Jesse has, because he's been through a lot of things. We're just trying to do good works here and have it as an environment where we all get along. That anybody can come here. Doesn't matter what path you're on, what you're going through. We don't alienate nobody here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, right? We've had to kick some people out because they come here in certain ways, acting pretty. When we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, they'd be acting like that sometimes. So we have to remove them from here. But we try to give the platform for like Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have open mic night for whoever likes to join and share a story or whatever. But I'm just here to let you know that I don't have nothing against anybody. I just want to continue to do my show or our show here, Spiritual and Encrypted Encounters in Peace. That's all I have to say.
How long did you go last night, man?
6 hours, primo.
What happened after I left? Everything was good?
Yeah, we had a lot of viewers, man, like 50. It was up there and the numbers were high, and people were tuning in. And I think that was for a Thursday. That's pretty good. We had a lot of
Yeah.
viewership, you
Yeah.
know.
I wanted to keep going, man, but both of my eyes started hurting. I couldn't read the screen anymore, man. I tried to go back in the room and jump on the chat, and then my right eye started getting real blurry. So I just closed my eyes and went to sleep.
Yeah, it's like me. I right now I feel good. I got me a nice fresh haircut. But sometimes when you take like a nice fresh haircut, get G'd up, it'll make you feel good, right? And that's how I like to be. Like to feel good all the time, not just when it's due to a haircut. I feel good when I work out. I feel good when I make the show and we help out people out spiritually. It makes me feel good. But of course,
Yeah.
there's going to be people that dislike the works that you're doing, and they think that you're upstaging them or whatever, and they're gonna they gather up with other people to come after you. That's ridiculous. We all supposed to be brothers and sisters in
Thank
Christ.
you, Joel. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because I've been watching since I joined you here. It's been almost 2 years now, man, and all this back and forth. They really just have to stop, man. All this gossiping and all this crap, man. It's got to stop, man, because it's not productive. I agree with you on that, cousin. I agree with you very much on that. I'm sure if we just let them do what they're doing, this channel will keep growing and flourishing, man.
That's what I see, man. That's what I see. Uh, but that's how people are. That's how they want to be. That's on them. I'm not gonna tell somebody how to be. I'm just saying that I'm not going to be that way. I'm gonna. I'm really thinking about taking. Well, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to take out SCE news. Uh, I'm gonna take some stuff down from there, but I'm going to continue to do the good works. Regardless of who's saying this or that. I really don't care what people are saying anymore. I'm just. I think the show is doing really good, especially at nighttime. Last night we had an excellent show. We had a good
Six
panel
hour show.
on the
You
panel,
had, you had a 6 hour show, man. That was a good show. Hello, Juan Avila. How you doing, man?
and
Yeah,
they
man.
said when we left there was still a lot of people. But we
Wow.
had to cut it, so I will get some rest. You know, I woke up and I want to go get G'd up, get ready for tomorrow. Uh, tomorrow won't have a show because I'm gonna go dancing. It's gonna be my first time going dancing in a very, very long time.
Cardio
So I
time.
think it's well deserved. Gotta go take my wife dancing. Yes, and I'm happily married. I'm not interested in all
Any
this
blondes?
fake rumors, this false rumors of me. It's ridiculous. Sometimes you just people have to get a life.
It was a 6 hour show last night, Monica H. 6 hours. I did five, and then Primo went 1 hour without me.
6 hour show last night.
Hey, man, I tried to go to sleep, man, but around three something in the morning, man, I got up and I was in the shower, man. So by the time my hair dried and whatnot, man, it was about almost 6 in the morning, man. Hello, Rain. How you doing?
How you
Welcome
doing,
in.
Mr. Ray? No, I don't wear those. I don't wear those kind of boots. Pumps.
You gonna
For
wear this?
dancing, I prefer. I don't like the not even the square ones because I like to dance. So the ones that are very comfortable to dance in to me are the ropers, like the
Yeah,
ropers.
they're the
You know
best for
dancing.
dancing.
So you're more agile. You can move better. You could get a good spit shine on them, and man, you can do all kinds of moves on the dance floor. That's what I'm going to wear. I'm going to wear my dancing boots tomorrow. I got the
No,
square ones. I got the. I don't got those other big pointy ones like people wear in Mexico.
you don't have
As
those
a
P.
matter of fact, I don't do that kind of dancing. The dancing
You
I
don't
do
have,
is like ballroom dancing.
you don't have those PTMBs, those pointy-toed Mexican boots
No,
with the cobra heads.
no, I don't be wearing that kind of junk. You know, it's junk to me. But I want y'all to know something. Believe it or not, that the first cowboy came from Mexico. They were called vaqueros. That's what they originated from. The cowboys originated from Mexico. So for you, all you country folks, there were the straw hats and the boots and all that. You're thinking the country songs and country this and that. Well, the original cowboy originated in Mexico. They were called vaqueros. Look it up.
Welcome, Linda.
Vaqueros.
Yes,
Vaqueros.
Monica. Ropers are the only kind of boot I can wear because of the top of my foot. It's kind of big, and the ropers are the only ones I can wear.
I think they were the ones that created the whip too. No, the los mexicanos, el chicote.
Yep, yep.
But that was the original cowboy. So imagine if the big pointy boots were from the original cowboy. That would mean that the American cowboy would be wearing pointy boots like that too.
Hello, Lawrence. Welcome in.
But that's where it originated from.
Welcome in, Randy Victoria Alexander. Yep, Ninja Jesse is here.
I am doing well, Randy.
They call me the Mexican Ninja because I throw moncajetas at people. I leave 3 dots of death on your forehead.
Oh, since we're talking about that, the Cowboys originated from Mexico. There's a lot of things of the topic tonight that are from. A lot of that happens in Mexico,
Oh yeah.
which is a topic for tonight. Brujos, brujas, and lechuzas.
The first one I met was in Mexico.
I'll let cousin Jesse share what he witnessed when he stayed where he was staying. It'll tell you the location and everything. I'm
Oh
checking the
really?
comment.
Really, Lawrence? PRT just ending, so everybody should be coming over here. All righty, man. Hello, Prima Ivy. Hello, Andres Carizales. Hello, Sailor Nemesis. They're coming in, cousin. Ahí viene la raza. Uh, the year was 1970. I'm gonna say 77, guys. My father was hiding us from the welfare because they were supposedly trying to break up the family, and he took us to his family that lived in Curias, Las Norias Curias.
How you
Hello,
doing,
the
sister?
Longing Child. How you doing, Ellie? And he wouldn't have left us over there. My very first, hello, Juan Avila. How you doing? Man, they're all coming in here, cousin. Behind my chats. Anyway, he wouldn't have left us out there in in the mountains of Mexico, of Tamaulipas. No, well, in Curias. And the very first week I was there, there was no there was no lights, there was no running water. They had propane, excuse me, propane. There was no supermarkets up there. You'd get supplies from a truck that came up the mountain once a month. If you ran out of food, then you had to hunt. But like I said, it was
How
my
big
very
was
first week.
how big was this mountain, cousin, that you're talking about?
It was big, man. Because the bus that we were on, hello, and the bus that we were on, man, it took a while to get all the way up the hill, man. It was a
A lot of
mountain.
monte, a lot of woods.
Yeah, and when you looked on one side of the bus, you can see like a drop. If the bus driver messed up, the whole bus would drop down. And hello, Madeline. And they took us up there, man. And I remember I showed up over there wearing some white Britannian bell bottoms, man, with a silk shirt with flowers on it and some platform shoes, man. The soles were like this thick. And like I said, the very first week we were standing out there by the torches along the fence line, and something passed by whistling, cousin. And I'm like, whistle back, and my primos from over there told me, hey, no, no, don't do that because it's a lechuza and it's gonna come and take your eyes. What's up, Rudy Caldera? And I told him, what the hell is a lechuga? No lechuga, man. So una lechuza. What? ¿Qué es eso? Because I'm from the city, man. I didn't know. So they explained to me that it was a witch that turned into a bird, and that if you whistle back, it would come and take your eyes. So that night, man, I was all scared, man. They did put a fear in me, man, and I was all scared. And there was two doors in the house, man. The house was made of mud. It was a mud hut with a straw roof. And I remember they had two doors, and each of those doors you could open the top, or you could open the bottom, or you could open them both. They would swing like that, and yeah, lechuga. I didn't know, man. I was like 10 years old. I was city slicker. I didn't know nothing about that. And instead of going to bed where they had put me to sleep right by the back door where it opened up on top to let the air vent through there, I took a chance of getting stung by scorpions on the dirt floor. And as I was laying in the middle of the kitchen, I heard like flapping wings, and I started freaking out. So I covered my head up and just left a little hole where I
It's
could
like
see,
how did it sound like
like
the
that,
flapping of
dude.
the wings?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
It was a adobe, of course, but to us back then we were kids, man. We didn't know what it was called. We just knew that we made it with mud. We packed mud on it every time. Every time after a rainstorm, we would put fresh mud on there, and it was clay. It was clay, Sailor Nemesis. But like I said, I covered my head up, primo, and I was looking through a little hole to the space where I was supposed to be, and I see a hand come in, and it was searching like this, primo, right there where I was supposed to be sleeping. It was searching like this, and then I saw like a head come in over the door and look down like that, and it was the head of a old lady, man, and she had like the crooked nose and the big chin,
Was it an
and
old lady? You say it was an
it
old
looked like
lady?
it was an old lady, and I was like, oh hell no! So I never slept back right there, man. I always slept in the middle of the kitchen. It was just so that if it came back, it wouldn't be finding me where I was supposed to be sleeping. But yeah, that was the first time I came into an encounter with a damn
So
lechuga.
how old were your cousins compared to your age?
Uh, there was some that were adults already, man, and there was like 4 or 5 that were my age and younger. I still remember his nickname was Cheque. We used to play Indian games, cousin.
Indian games?
Yeah, they taught me a game called Shanghai, which you use 2 sticks to play it, man. You dug a hole in the ground and you slap one stick with the other, and when it flew up in the air, you hit it with the other, and then you. It was just like an Indian game, man. And then they taught us how to play with a. Don't take this in any kind of bad way, cousin. With corn cobs, they would put feathers on corn cobs and they throw them like footballs, man.
The hell? Like a Nerf
Yeah,
football?
yeah, but it was made of corn cob. You know, I learned the correct way to make sure that you clean your butt right. Uh, you take a. It was like 3 corn cobs, two yellow and one white. That was the white corn cob was the one to spot check to make sure you were clean. Hey man, it was hard times back then, man. But
So you
yeah, that
use
was
that as toilet paper, primo?
that or rocks,
What the hell?
leaves. We were up in the mountains, man. There was no stores. I'm telling you, cousin. As a matter of fact, there was no police up there. There were soldiers that guarded the entire area.
Wow.
There was no running water, man. We had a pond in the middle of the complex because it was a complex. It was my aunt's mud hut, my dad's grandma's mud hut, and then the mud hut that was the storage area where they kept the food that we bought and hunted.
Somebody
But
said
we
rocks.
would,
Was it big rocks? I mean, how you gonna get a
smooth,
rock on? I mean,
smooth rocks.
down the crack, man.
Had to have
God,
smooth rocks, man. Uh, like I said, the pond in the middle of the complex is where all the rainwater ran to, and was there. It was like a little pond, and we would get the water from there, man, and strain it to be able to drink it. Strain it and boil it to be able to drink it. To take a bath, we would walk like 15 minutes to the river to take a bath.
that's another thing. The rock that we use, we at least dip it in water.
Yes, of course, it had to be clean.
No, no, no. Dip it in water, wipe, and then dip it in water, wipe. Is that the
Mm-hmm.
way you would do it,
Yep.
or you just
We
use a
would.
rock and throw the rock?
You threw the rock at somebody. If you were mad at somebody, but no, man, it was hard times, primo. It was hard times. I remember when we were out of food in the truck, todo no venía. we would go out and hunt javelinas, man, and I was always the bait since I was the fastest runner. I was always the bait, man. I'd get the pig to
Tell them
chase
what
me, and
javelinas are. They don't know.
a
You said
javelin is a feral pig with tusks, and I would get it to chase me, and then my older cousins would
a wild boar. That's what it is.
they would jump out of trees with spears and just spear it as it was running by. But I was always the bait. And then they would cook it and they would make something called masita de jabalin. It was like a jabalin meat made with like a gravy, and then that's what we would eat. And we were so poor that they taught us how to lie. They called it lie to a tortilla. And that's where you get the tortilla and you grab what you're gonna eat with it. You put what you're gonna eat with it in your mouth, and you reuse the tortilla like 2 or 3 times the piece of tortilla before you actually eat the piece of tortilla.
Yeah, you. Yeah, I
They call it
see.
in
I used
Manala
to eat like
tortilla.
that, without no forks, no spoons, or nothing. Everything with the tortilla.
Yep. I remember when I got married to my wife that she's black. She sat at the table and there was a stack of tortillas and everybody started eating. And she's like, "Where's the silverware?" I grabbed the tortilla. This is the silverware right here. Yeah, man. But that was my like I said, that when we lived up there, that was my first encounter with a lechuza. I'll never forget it, man, because I saw that old lady come in the
Oh,
back door.
oh. Uh, just you can lock the bottom. Yeah. He's got a key.
So that's my story. Back to you, cousin. Anybody got
I
any
mean,
questions?
did the Lechuza ever, or the Bruja, try to come back? I mean, you whistled.
Yeah, like I
You,
said,
you
I never
came.
slept. I never slept in that bed again, man. I always sleep in the kitchen on the dirt floor, away from that open door.
Did y'all have dogs out there? At least
Yeah, man.
to
They had
warn you,
real
like
cool.
Mark.
They had real cool names, man. The white one they call him Kaliman, and the little beige one they call him Solin. After those radio characters that used to come out when people used to listen to radio shows. 'Cause I remember, man, around 1 in the afternoon, they always come on the radio, Las Aventuras de Calimán y su pequeño Solín. And then like 2:30, my grandfather would be like watching El Ojo de Vidrio. The radio shows, man, that would come on. So where we lived, there was no TVs, man. They got radio signals, but we didn't have TV, so everybody just listened to radio shows, man.
I think, so talking about witches, brujas, and brujos. Mexico even had a show of witches at one point in time, of witches and demons. It was like a comedy thing that they would put out there. They would do comedy skits. I just remember the name of the show, and they would show it every Saturday.
No problem, Monica.
They would show it
But
on
yeah,
Saturday on the day of the Sabbath.
I think I was like 10 when that happened, Monica. Almost 10.
You remember what show I'm talking about? And they would come out on Univision on one of the Spanish stations on Saturdays. It was about witches and demons and stuff like that.
Hello, learning. It
I'll
was
see if I
in
can find
Spanish.
if I can find the name of it.
It was in Spanish.
Yeah, in Spanish.
Yeah, no, I don't probably remember it. I mean, there was a little magazine back in the day called it Melinda Linda, and it was about a witch, and then there was one called Aniceto, and it was also a comic that the guy was like a brujo, a warlock. These
So I'm
were
surprised that
comics.
you were living up in the mountains that you didn't witness more activity, than I mean, well, tell them about the other thing that you witnessed, La
Oh,
Mano.
yeah, when I before we moved up there to to Korea. We were living in Matamoros in the Barrio Segundo. I think they call it La Gaviota or something like that. We were staying with one of my dad's female cousins and her kids, and uh, I heard a knock on the window, man. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. Had been told to go to sleep, and nobody was going to sleep, clowning around in the room that everybody shared. And I was the one closest to the window. I opened the curtain and I saw like a big old hand with fur just crawling up the window. It didn't have an arm. It was just a hand with no arm crawling up the window like this. And
You think it could have been a tarantula, cousin?
no, it was a hand,
Because
cousin. It was a
tarantulas are
hand.
pretty big over there too, no?
Yeah, they're big, but these were fingers. They weren't legs. It had 5 fingers, not 8 legs. It had 5 fingers,
Okay.
and it scared me something awful, man. From then on, every time it started to get dark, I'd get all whacked out and start screaming and crying, and it was unconsolable. So my father sent me away with a blind brujo for a year. Uh, that's a year that I have missing out of my life and memory because I remember everything. I can remember back everything, even when we played Batman and Robin, when we would watch Batman and Robin at your house. I can remember all that, man, but I can't remember that year that that man took me. I remember him picking me up, and I remember him bringing me back. But I don't remember anything that happened for that whole year, man. What was done to me, what we did, what we ate, nothing, man. Nothing. And I thought about, maybe going under hypnosis to see what was done. But it's better to let sleeping dogs lie, man. They blocked it out of my memory for a reason.
Maybe that the witch that you ran into might have done something to you. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. You probably cursed me.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you said she went looking for you. So if something happened, it had to happen when you were out there at the mountain. Something might have happened there to you. That. But what happened first? The incident with the bruja, or the
No.
incident with the guy that picked you up?
Let me go back, man. The first thing that happened to me was when I saw the double ganger of my brother, and then I saw the doll move, but that's another story. Uh, the first thing I witnessed was the hand, and then hello, Josh, how you doing? Welcome in, sir.
How you doing,
Um,
brother Josh?
when we moved away from my dad's cousin's house, we went straight to Curias. We went up the mountains, and then I saw the bruja, the lechuza. So that's the
How,
order
how
it
big? How
happened.
big? How big was it? I mean, you were a
Uh,
kid, so how big did it you look? The witch or the
she
lechuza?
well, the lechuza, I didn't see it because, like I said, there was no lights, man. We were by torches, and it passed by behind us whistling, and I whistled back. My cousins got onto me about that. Even my older cousins got onto me about that. But when I was on the floor, that she came in through the open back door. She stuck her head in. She I was a little kid, man, 10 years old, so she looked big to me, man. Hello, Deborah Noseworthy, welcome. So yeah, man, it was I've had a pretty messed up stuff, man, happen to me in my lifetime, man. I haven't seen as much as you, but I've seen.
Yeah, this in the 70s and 60s, is just brujas were everywhere. They were having uh bruja wars where they were hexing each other, going back and forth. So where they were hexing each other, going back and forth, of course, you were seeing demons in the air. You were seeing little goat man or pans running around. Things that were not normal. You were seeing them because they were casting hexes on each other. So there was sent open portals, send demons, and all kinds of things, gargoyles, and of course the lechuzas that would manifest in the lechuza forms. Uh, it would be so much evil that sometimes that the dogs would howl real ugly, and you could hear like something hit the dogs, and they start crying. But when you look, there's nothing there around them. We kept a wolf dog named Lobo or Wolf, and Ali. There was always sensing when an unclean spirit or activity would come into their yard. So when there was sense that they would make this ugly howl, it would alarm us to let us know that there was something evil there. So to go into prayer. I'm thinking that's why my grandmother kept them outside to warn when there was danger around.
I mean, it was pretty bad over there, man. When the night fell, they would put the dogs inside the house, man. Like I said,
I dropped, I
that
dropped the link right there, brother Josh. If you'd like to jump on, here's a link uh, for I know brother Josh knows something dealing with lechuzas and stuff like that because I believe he had an encounter with a lechuza, possible
yeah,
brujas. You know,
yeah. Sailor Anonymous says, I believe that it's the things that we go through that makes us the people that we are today. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
yeah. So I was seeing a lot of this happening, and I mean, this witches back then in the like early '70s. Because I'm from '69, they wasn't afraid to come out in the open. They were literally come out dressed all in black
Welcome, Cynthia.
with their dresses and stuff, and they were out walking in the middle of the street at nighttime. So it's like normally when it hit like 10 o'clock, everybody's inside because the brujas will come out, brujas and lechuzas, and you see them flying around in the sky. Uh,
Or hiding around with after
Midnight
being
black.
hit
They
by
were so they
rocks.
were like midnight black. The only thing you could see was maybe the eyes, right? But
I mean, you're right on that, man. Because the one I saw after we buried my mom that landed on that pole, it was black. The only thing you could see were the eyes, man. That it was looking down at us, screeching.
I will make the screech sound, but every time I make the screech sound, things happen. So I'm not going to make it because I can mimic it real good. That's what happened to me. I'm when they would come around the house, flying around, they would make this whistle sound, which is like a screech sound, and it's like they'll send a signal. Then another lechuza will come from a different direction, and then there's two flying. They're circling around the house, and then they will make the call again, and then another lechuza come from somewhere else, and until they all join, there's like six of them flying around around our house. So when I see them start ascending down, that's when I will go inside the house, and I'll tell my mom, "Hey, they're here, they're here. The brujas are here." That's what I would say. The brujas were here because that's what they were.
You make the sound. Cynthia's gonna leave. Rain's gonna leave. Madness gonna leave. You know how I feel when you make that sound.
Yeah.
When you make that sound, we lose the right to pray over people. It's crazy up in here, man. Everybody's here.
So it says 10 Dutch time is 3 Texas time, I think. So this I can say it's an owl. I'll just say they're big. Oh, the truth is to say is another word for owl, but they're huge, like big birds, and I don't know, they're black. And when you see them, they're midnight black. They kind of look like a witch, when the witch has the dress on, right? But then when you see they have feathers and all that, like black feathers, then like, whoa, that's not no woman on top of the tree in a dress. That's a big black bird or owl, right? Some people call them harpies. Then I got a couple of pictures of how the lechuza might look to some people. Let me see if I can share it with you.
Yeah,
Because
I've
you need
never
to
seen
get
them
it
fight.
out.
Yeah, never seen them fight in bird form.
If they what? There is some that were white, but some that will appear in white, which will be the good witch. But the black lechuza was way bigger, right? Way bigger than the white one. So I'm gonna share some pictures here or some sketches that people have drawn of lechuzas. Here we go. Let me get up in there and share this.
I forgot we started late today, man. The saying it's 11:52. I had to look up to make sure. Hello, August Bradshaw. How you doing, man? Welcome in.
Yeah, it's like everything's been acting kind of weird, man. Like my Wi-Fi has been acting weird. I send the photos, and it's not showing me the photos that I sent.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So let me see what I can do. Yeah. So let me get out of this Facebook and yeah, it's weird. I
I
send the
hope you get
photo,
better on this.
and it's not showing me the photo. Like it's stuck there. So let me re-log in into Facebook and see if it'll show up. No, it's not doing it. What the hell is the matter with my Facebook?
I'm glad he saved your face, Angel. We wouldn't have the red lipstick then, would we? He's not letting you share anything, cousin.
Yeah, not through my messenger.
Oh
It's
wow.
not letting me get into my messenger for some reason. And when I look, I can only look at so far back, which is that's kind of strange because yesterday I was looking at all kinds of things.
You think you might have gotten hacked last night?
I'm looking at yours now too. No, I'm thinking it might be I don't know what it could be. Uh, try one more time. Maybe I can do it like this. Just get in there and see the thing that a place pops up. No, it's not gonna. It's not popping up
It was the
right now.
glasses for you, Cynthia.
Right now, I'm seeing the count, and that's not what I'm looking for. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send the pictures to you. See if you receive them. If you receive them, uh, maybe I can see them through your. I don't know.
Well, you can always try.
Or we can continue on till I figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's about midnight,
Sorry about
man.
that. It's
My
not
sinus
letting
is
me.
getting cleared out
It's not
tonight.
letting me share to my through my messenger. Let me do something over here. Log out and because here it shows that I received it.
Welcome beyond the box. Hey, all my stuff went out and I was kicked from my studio. I think it's just a glitch, says Beyond the Box.
Oh wow!
Did you bring the Scooby snacks, Beyond the Box?
No wonder people were joined the show. Came over here. Must be something going on because it's trying to do something to me too right now. It's like I can't share through Messenger right now. I mean, let me try to do see if I can share anything through YouTube.
Josh Turner says he would jump on, but he's working.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Trying to catch up to the comments right now. Yeah, I noticed that it's acting kind of weird. I noticed that since this morning, this early this morning, where my phone wasn't even working right. Probably a tower down or something, you know. I was trying to show the picture of the Lechuza, but I could share the picture of a big owl. See if it allows me to share that, cousin.
Josh says he's dealing with borrachos.
We borracho.
I haven't got anything, cousin.
I'm trying to find the other picture there it is. See how we can share it. I know my YouTube looks like it's working. We're fixing to find out right now. Uh, can y'all see that?
No, I just see you and me.
No, I see it right there.
I just see the main page that says spiritual encrypted encounters.
Does anybody see the video of the YouTube of the owl? So I'm seeing
Hold
it right
on,
there. We just
the screen just went black. There it goes. There it is. There it is, cousin. Ahí está, míralo.
there he is. What would that be considered? I mean, it's still daylight and it's standing there. Doesn't look like an owl, but would it be kind of like a DDN or a dark shadow figure?
That's a DDN, man. That can't be a dark shadow figure. It's Big Pecker.
No, but it's like in a form like of an owl, but it's standing on
Yeah,
twos.
yeah. What the hell? Oh man, there it goes.
We'll let that one play for a little bit.
Oh no.
There he is. I'm letting it
Ah,
play for a little bit, and and I'm gonna stop it on it right now. Yeah, it's like I said, it's been acting weird. Where is it at? There we go. Well, there he is, the big beak, or cousin Jesse Becker. Let me back it up a little bit. There it is. There it is. Guess we can leave him as a host tonight, as a guest. Oh, what happened with cousin Jesse? Y'all see that? Yeah, cousin Jesse. I don't know what happened to him. Straight from the hoop. Jesse did a ninja. There he is. I don't know what happened, cousin.
Soon as
Lost
you
you.
show, as soon as you showed that big pecker, it kicked me out.
Yeah, I paused it there so people could see it looking. Uh,
Yeah, Lawrence, I think that's what we're gonna call that. We're gonna call it big pecker.
you're gonna call it what?
Big pecker. I'm a ninja, Lawrence.
All right.
Yeah,
And
ninja.
I don't
American.
know. Maybe it's my lighting, man, that's blinding me. Let me lower it down. I'm like, why does it feel weird? It feels like I'm being blinded by something. I think it was the lighting was too bright. There we go. That's better. Big Becca.
Yeah, big pecker with a P. Pecker.
What was the commercial about the owl?
Oh, you mean the old commercial with Woodsy the Owl? Help Woodsy spread the word. Never be a dirty bird in the city or in the woods. Help keep America looking good. Luego salía el indio, that Indian guy would come out with that one big tear going down his cheek. I'd be telling them, Indians don't cry, you wimp. I hope it don't kick me out again, man. Look at the eyes on that thing, man.
Yeah.
I think both of my fists could probably fit in that one eye.
Yeah, that's big, man. Tubuku, Tubuku.
Chibuku.
And somebody
Yeah,
said
big
they're gonna
pecker.
nickname it Big Becca.
Big pecker is what we're gonna call it. Big pecker.
How big do you think the Pekka is, man?
That pecker gotta be at least 8 or 9 9 feet long, man.
If that's like, for example, 18 foot tall, it's got to be at least 2 yards. I mean,
Yep,
or 2 feet. No,
yep.
I'll say like 1.5 feet or 2 feet. I don't know. We need to get Jesse to go measure the Pekka.
Sorry, man. Jesse don't measure no pecker. I wouldn't touch that with your hands.
Yeah, Give the hoot, don't pollute. Here you go. Somebody says Moloch is depicted as the devil. Some people don't like saying that name because they say that bad things happen when you say certain names of things of certain it says wizards or warlocks or demons or from the past. If they're saying that the names of bad things happen or something like that. What was a wasn't one that starts with an A?
Uh, man, I can't remember. Uh,
A Baden or something like that. I don't
Joel
know.
wants to. Joel wants to show the video of that he sent you with that bruja, the one where everything keeps materializing.
Yeah, we'll share that. Let me stop sharing this real quick. I can share a story with y'all of man, I just don't know which story to share. Well, I can share one when we got attacked by a lot of witches. We had gone to cousin Jesse, his mom. His mom used to live in near the Mississippi River. She was staying in Art. Was it what was the name of the town where that White House was? Cousin.
I didn't live with them back then, cousin. I just know they lived in Arkansas. That's where
Yeah, well,
Mario was used.
she lived in Arkansas near the Mississippi River, and there was some strange events that were happening because when I was staying, I've always been able to sense, and cousin Jesse, his stepbrother, Wichito, he was born, he was small, and he was always crying, and I was always feeling something there inside that home. So I remember one night we were asleep, and I heard
Be back.
my aunt say, where's Wichito? Like, where's my son? No. So I get up to go look as I walk into the main living room. I witness Wichito which was a baby, is elevated up in the air like if somebody's carrying him, and is they're trying to take him out the window. So I run and I grab, and then by that time, as I grab the baby, my aunt comes out of her room and we grab him, and it's like the whatever was taking him was trying to take him out the window, but you couldn't see what it was. I could sense there was something bad there, but I could never see. So we left back to Texas, and we were driving on the highway, and they had those roadblock, um, the roadblock on the pillars, or not the pillars, but like on the horses. It had the markings, and they had the roadblock. There was this looked like a sheriff. It's in the 70s. He told us that we couldn't go down the highway because of an accident that happened. That we had to take this road, and it was right there to his right, which was like a not a main highway, but it was a highway still, like a paved road. So we took that road. As we took the road, um, we had a station wagon that had two fuel tanks. So we're driving down the road, and we had already run out of one of the fuel tanks because we can never find the main highway. So that the road turned into a dirt road. And then from a dirt road, it turned into one of those roads that's like in between the fields, in between the fields. So, we're like freaking out, because we're running out of gas. We're kind of lost. We don't know where this low road leads to. So as we're driving, there's this big old white truck, or not this big truck with lights, just hits us with the brights, and it's honking, making a weird noise, and it's trying to run us off the road. It's trying to hit us in the bumper. And my dad, just gives it more gas. We had a big engine, so they keep on following us like that all night, trying to hit us off the road. Like they'll shut off the lights, and when you think that they're gone because it's pitch dark, they'll hit you with the brights. What do you call those lights that they have on top of the trucks, cousin? Like those
Those are
deer
like
light
spotlight,
lights,
uh,
like lights.
lights.
Yeah, we're hitting us with that. So they're trying to run us off the road, and then I guess it turned a certain way. We were supposed to go off the a road, but my dad was able to grab a hold so we wouldn't go out of control. But the truck kind of went a different direction, and we just kept on going on the road. My dad didn't. He was hauling ass through this dirt road, or this road that looked like a narrow road. And as we're going, there's this big old. It looked like I'm gonna say like a castle. It looked like a castle because the way it was shaped, and it was like a pillar, and it had lights shining on it that you could see the wall of it. But on the very top of that castle was nothing but black lechuzas, black owls. They're sitting on top of there, like if they're part of some kind of congregation or something, like they're the leaders of lechuzas or something. But they're up way up there, you could see them. They're all midnight black, and they're standing on top of there. If you're, you know, so as we're driving on the road with the brights, you see all of them coming down from that castle or big old building, and then they're all coming towards us. As they come towards us, they start hitting the station wagon, scratching the sides, the windows. They're scratching the on top of the roof. They're bumping on the sides, on both sides, trying to knock us off the road. So my mom is in prayer, and that she would tell us they were even trying to open the doors, but we had the doors locked. And what was weird, it's like it felt like they had some kind of power, because I remember where the door unlocked, and I hit it down, and it wasn't an electrical lock,
Oh
so it
wow.
like itself, and I pressed it down, and the lechuza was trying to open the door, so they kept on praying, and finally they flew away from us, but they were trying to run us off the road. They were attacking us. Um, as the sun started rising, we finally made it to another highway, and there was a white gas station, an old gas station with those old gas those old pumps that's got what was it, meth oil, or I don't know, what was the name of it?
The gases back there were ethyl,
Yeah,
regular, and ethyl, regular, and no lid, which is
yeah, and it
now
was
the
ethyl.
only.
It said ethyl on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We walked in there and we asked. There was a man. There was like a meat market in there. Yeah, nothing but meat. And my father asked the man if we could get some gas, and the man said no. He didn't want to give us no gas. There's the times where there was racism and all that stuff.
It
So
was a
we went
white
outside.
community. It was
Yeah,
a white community store.
yeah, we went outside, and the DPS was passing by, and my dad waved him down, and he told him that the man didn't want to give us gas, so we needed gas. So the DPS made him give us gas, right? And we got out. We left. This happened in Texas, somewhere here in Texas. I just can't remember. where it was because I was too young. My brother remembers, and he told me where he thinks the location is. He wanted to go and do an investigation of this location, and I told him, well, let's go. But what happened is some bad storms came through, so we didn't go. We were going to go look because he remembers the name of the town. So he wanted to go find this dirt road that we traveled, and we could find that old gas station. Then we're able to find the dirt road. If we follow the dirt road, then we'll be able to find that castle or church, whatever the hell it was, where the Lechuzas were. Uh, True story, and it's one thing that I've never forgotten. When you have all these black owls or Lechuzas trying to unlock the doors and trying to get to you, it's crazy, man. It's like there was a spiritual hit on us. That's what it felt like.
It was a 6 hour show last night, Morgan Lawrence. You way back there, cousin.
Yeah, I was talking, but I don't know. My brother's here in the chat or not, but he remembers the name of the town. I think
Does he does he
the
always
name of
come
the
in on the show?
was Paris, Texas.
I knew somebody that lived out there in Paris, Texas, man, but he don't live over there no more. He lives over there, that town right after Killeen.
Gatesville.
Yeah, he lives over there. It was a good show last night, Rain. They had a lot of everything. Josh says to throw him a link, cousin. He got rid of the borracho.
There it is, right there. Yeah. So my brother wants to go do a day investigation, see if we can find this location where they try to run us off the road, where the big truck tried to run us off the road, and try to find the location of the castle or the big old building that was out there where the all this dark lechuzas were. And I told him that I'm up to it. It just I gotta be ready for it, because you don't know what we're gonna run into out there.
Rain says Paris, Texas is up towards Oklahoma. They have a replica of the Eiffel Tower. Hello, Josh. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? What are y'all doing?
Just
I'm
here,
sitting here twiddling in my thumbs, man.
I can see that. Yeah, so we're over here doing the patrol. I was listening to what you were saying about Arkansas. I had something going on earlier at one of at the sites we were at over
oh,
here.
my brother said it was not Paris, but Pearl, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Pearl, Texas. Yes.
So what happened
You
over there, Josh?
well, my friend Blake used to live in Arkansas, and he invited me years ago when I was young and just kind of directionless, and I was kind of like drifting around from job to job. And, um, he invited me to go stay out there with him and his girlfriend, and who eventually got married. But it was out near Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I stayed out there with him for like a week. And I remember driving out there, and I've been to Arkansas many times, driven through there a bunch of times. It never ceases to amaze me, like how much wood, like how big the woods are there. The Ozarks, man, like it's so thick, and like anything can live out there. Anything can be out there. And it's foreboding, dude. Like when you're in those primordial forests, Of course, everybody's heard of the Fouke monster out there in Arkansas, But when I was up there, I just remember like being inundated with like this weird energy. I can feel energy, I can read energy. I don't think I can do it on the level that like Abe can, or even like my guest earlier tonight, Sibylla. If anybody watched the show, but um, definitely like I can read and feel it. And the house that they were staying in was an old two-story house, and there was definitely ghosts in that house. I mean, like not just ghosts, but like there was something evil in there too. I could feel it in the room that I stayed in. I didn't really catch a full-on glimpse of anything, but I kept seeing like a shadow, like it was peeking around the corner, looking at me, and I kept looking, and I wouldn't see it. And it's gonna sound weird, but like it looked like it was wearing like a mask or something. Like I don't know if it was like in my mind's eye or if I actually was like seeing what it was, but it looked like it had like this. Those masks that people wore during the plague times.
The
You know what
beak.
I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yep.
like a beak. Yeah, it looked like that, dude. And so I told Blake about it, and Blake was like, "Yeah, dude." He goes, "Man, I see that, dude. I've seen it a couple times." And later on, when he had a kid, he would come to Austin every now and then. And I was working downtown at the club, and him and his girlfriend came through there, and Shelly, that was his girlfriend, and she's like, "Yeah, Bryce, that was their son." She's like, "He's seeing like this weird thing, he says it has a beak." And when she said that, like Blake, I had asked Blake if he had ever told her what I saw, and he goes, "No, I never told her." And he was kind of like that. He was kind of reserved. And we had been friends for a while. Like met him when I was doing security, and he had worked for me downtown for a while. Like after that when they split up, and then they got back together. And so I went out there another time with a couple friends of mine, and we went hunting out there in the woods, close to where he lived. And I didn't bag anything, but my friend did, and so did he. But I just remember being out there and thinking, man, there's something out in these woods, dude. Like it just that whole state is just. When you said Arkansas, I just thought, man, we need to do an episode on that state because there's so much weird crap out there, dude. Like, it just doesn't surprise me when people tell me that they've seen something in Arkansas. I'm like, yeah, the whole state's just like a giant. It's just like a giant green area, just full of green. That's what it reminds me of, dude. Every time I drive through there, I think of how thick the woods are.
There's quicksand out there too, in the swamps,
I wouldn't
swampy
doubt it.
land.
I mean, I didn't run into it, but I mean, I'm sure it's probably there. So, yeah, when you were talking about your cousin or whatever, like crying and something grabbing him, yeah, that just kind of reminded me of that. It makes me think about that. And I know there's some people out there that live out in those hills and those woods and stuff, and it's like they've probably been out there for generations, dude. Like hills have eyes, dude. You know what I mean? Like you run into them, man, they'll be like, "Hi, man, what's up?" It's like I'm not trying to be mean, but like for real, they probably look at you like food, man. Like I'm not even joking.
Welcome, Walsh with
It's
Bear.
just crazy.
Mm. Come up there and say, "Hey, you got a pretty mouth. Now squeal like a pig."
Exactly. For real, like it's just people up like the people that we know up in Oklahoma. They kind of those kind of people. The hills
Oh
have
man,
eyes. They'd be like, "Hey man, it's my sister's wife," because I was thinking about it too when I was there hunting. I thought, and I'm not real comfortable in the woods at that time anyway. And I was just there because my friends wanted to go and it was nice, area, wild hogs and all kinds of stuff. And my friend, it was like 1,000 acres, man, of just nothing, dude. Nobody lived out there. And there was a neighbor of his that was telling us that there were some people that lived out there, but they were not normal people. They were like feral, and he jokingly said, he goes, "I wouldn't doubt if they try to eat you if they could." And when we were driving back with the deer, there was this guy on the side of the road that was walking, and he had like these fish, like these 4 or 5 fish. He was hanging. They were hanging on this hook, and he was walking with them, and He had long, scraggly hair, dirty. His nose looked all like it was cut, like he had a big gash on it or something. And he looked dirty and disheveled, and his hair was all matted and greasy. And I just remember looking at that dude, man. And I was in the passenger side of the front, in the front, you know. And I thought, look at that dude, man. He looks like somebody from the Chainsaw Massacre family or something, you know. And I was like, for real, man. I just thought, dude, you would get lost up in Arkansas. You would never be found, dude. For real, that would be it. You'd be done.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So you can imagine like what kind of witchcraft and weird stuff. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about the Appalachians, you know, and those people, and they were talking about granny witches and magic and folklore, and they were up in Virginia. You know, they were telling me about the stories from Virginia. The guy that I did his story, he was in Canada. He was a logger, you know, but he'd grown up in Virginia, and he said, dude, there's people that go missing in these hollers out here in Appalachians, man. They'll never see these people again, dude. Like, I mean, and it's like backwoods justice too. Somebody had done something to his cousin, and his family took it into their own hands, and that guy just disappeared, man. He was just some Appalachian trash, you know, and nobody cared, you know, nobody gave a shit. And they were telling me about it, and I was like, damn, dude, it's just, I mean, they didn't do it, but you know, the guy told me about it, and it's just nuts, man.
Madness.
Let me see the chat. I can't see it because I'm driving.
Madam said that she thought you said granny bitches.
Not with a B. I said granny witches. We're not talking about somebody's mom up there in Oklahoma. No, we're not talking about them. We're just talking. Uh,
Ooh, I hear your signal light, man. You drive like my brother. He never turns off his signal light.
oh no, it's the flashers because we're doing the patrol. This particular spot where I'm at right now, I had an altercation with a guy here, you know, who would not freaking listen and would not leave a few days, or that's about a week ago, and like literally, I had to like, you know, forcibly make him leave. He kept telling me he lived here, and I was like, "No, you don't, dude. You bathe in the sink here. You don't, you don't live here, dude. You just loiter here and bathe yourself in the bathroom. That's it." So,
So I got a security story for you, Josh. I used to work for a place called a company called Smith Protection here in Fort Worth,
oh yeah,
and they put me at a post at a paper house on Northside Drive, and you know I'm parked across the street from the property, and I'm watching down the street at that bridge that goes across the Trinity River, and I see him. He's coming, and you could tell he's all messed up, man. He's stumbling everywhere, man, and then he goes on the property and he falls face first, man, on the scale where they weigh the trucks that used to bring in the paper and whatnot. And I'm sitting across the street in my 78 LTD, man, and I laugh. Well, this guy gets up, man. He goes across the street to my car and tells me that what I'm laughing at. I go, I wasn't laughing. He goes, I heard you. And then he proceeds to put his hand in his pocket and pulls out a switchblade. He tells me he's going to kill me. And I
wow.
start laughing. I start laughing because what he doesn't know, and you're gonna freak out. What he doesn't know, man, is I got my hand between the seats, and when he picks up the knife to try to stab me, man, I unsheath a katana, a battlefield katana, and his eyes were open real wide, man, and he took off running, and I told him, "Come stab me," and I chased him down the street, man, and he dropped the knife, and I guarantee you, man, he lost his buzz.
You ruined
Yeah,
his
man,
night
I ruined his night, man. But how you gonna come try to stab me for nothing, man?
because he's freaking Baracho Teresos, man. You know, he's like been drinking.
And for a minute there, I thought he was gonna fall over the banister when he was walking across that bridge across the Trinity River. I thought he almost fell in there, man. I was like just ready to go report saying we need an ambulance. Dude just fell off the bridge. But yeah, he pulled a knife on me. I pulled a samurai sword on his ass.
Borracho, as they're called, borracho necios.
Yep, I pulled a samurai sword on his ass, man.
They're just freaking annoying necios.
But yeah, that's my security story, Josh.
How long did you do security for?
I did security for Smith Protection for 2 years, man. I have a diploma in it, man.
A diploma?
Yeah, I went through a business school and got certified as a security. I have a diploma for it, man. I only lacked
So you probably did
36
like
hours.
level 2.
I only lacked 36 hours to become a police officer, man. I just got too many family members that are on the other side of the law. I couldn't see myself arresting my own family members. I remember when I worked at that club here in Fort Worth, man, that I would go around twirling my light producing instrument and just on my palm. I had a guy come up to me and hand me his business card, asked me if I wanted to become a bounty hunter. I said, nope. He said, why? Because of my little brother. I couldn't see myself chasing my little brother for not paying his bond.
Well, if you're a bounty hunter, though, you can choose who you want to go after, too.
But yeah, man, like I said, I had that job offer when I was bouncing at a club, man. It was a Mexican dive too, man. It got bad in there, man. Got bad in there. I made it a little better, man, but after that incident where they broke that beer bottle on my head, man, I kind of went crazy and beat up a lot of people. I was like the blind kung fu master.
What was it, like a Tejano bar, a Conjunto bar, or where was it?
It was more of a
Cantina,
Mexican dive, man. It was just a
a
cantina.
cantina
Oh,
before.
It had a bad reputation when I started working there. I made it a little better, man, because I brought a little order to it. I frisked people on the way in. I didn't let nobody go in there with beer, and I made sure that nobody was doing blow in the restrooms.
pasas.
Yep, I said you can't do that unless you give me some.
Hey, Jesse's confiscating it all. By the end of the night, he's tweaking. Like,
Yeah, walking around the bar, going, yeah, 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 yeah.
Just
like,
be, just be like,
Coming around the bar, got
tasting
white
it.
all over my nose like the cocaine werewolf.
and you tell him you're welcome. I got rid of all the drugs.
You ever seen the cocaine werewolf we got, brother Josh?
No. Uh-uh.
We have a picture of
Oh
a werewolf with a.
man, let me find him so I can. He's our
he's got a,
mascot for this for
he's a,
SCE.
yeah, he's the mascot, especially on Werewolf Wednesday, man. He's got a white spot on his nose, dude. It looks like he's been doing cocaine. That's a funny werewolf, man. He's got another picture where he's standing there flipping him off.
Let's see if I
Oh
can find
man,
him so I can
but
see him.
yeah, I did that security thing for a while, Josh. For a while.
Wow. I never knew that.
Uh,
Yeah, I got certified in hand-to-hand combat. I got certified for carrying a weapon, a baton. Certified for mouth-to-mouth, all that, man.
Yeah, the CPR. Yeah, all those
Yep,
certifications.
there
yep,
he
yep.
is, brother Josh.
What is that? I can't hardly see it on my phone.
Yeah, it's a black werewolf with the cocaine spot on his nose. he's like,
There's his ears.
he's like,
There's
dame
the
un
nose.
pase.
It's white. And cousin just saying that we're having a powwow, and they're like, "Hey, why are you interrupting in our party?"
They were having a cocaine party, man. That's a
So
big
that's
dog,
the
man.
mascot for us.
That's crazy, man. That picture blew my mind.
See, y'all have too much fun out over here at the overnight. That's why these ops are they're jealous of y'all, man, because y'all be having too much fun, man.
Then here's the one that's. I'll see if you
Flipping
can
you
find the
off.
one that was flipping me off. Yeah, it be hiding from me sometimes. I have to log out, log out, log back in to find them. I know the it's been acting weird, man. The internet ever since the bad storm came through here.
Dude, man, it hailed
There it is.
big time but it didn't do damage to but in some places of Austin there was so much hail that they were shoveling it up like snow. I'm not even joking, man. We got pictures of it. It's unbelievable how much hail we didn't get the bad part. But I thought my vehicles and my roof were toast, but we went out and there was no damage. There was no damage.
Hello, Monica Davias. Hey, primo, that werewolf. He's got a real long pinky nail where he, he uses it.
See them, Josh? He's flipping me off.
Right now, I just see three spots on the screen. Cousin, you ain't sharing it yet.
Yeah,
You
there's
can't
nothing
see
on
it.
there.
There's nothing on there,
No.
just us.
What the hell? Tell you that it's acting weird.
Yes, it's Wolf, Monica. It's Josh.
Let me try it again.
Oh yeah. Damn, that's a creepy look. How did you get that picture, man? What is that? Where's that from?
That's from Elms Grove.
They're
God,
like,
that's some
if you,
creepiness, dude.
they're like, if you, Abe.
We need to have you come on. We need to have you come on the show, Abe, and then like show your pictures, dude, of some of that stuff you
Yeah,
got in
man,
Elms
I can do
Grove. We
that for
can,
you. Yeah,
heck yeah, we can
it's flipping
analyze
me
that
off,
shit,
brother
man.
Josh. It's
That's
flipping me
crazy,
off. It was
dude.
from the. That's a site where Armando Salazar went to go investigate.
Yeah, I remember.
But the other
Yeah,
side of
that
the by the creek. That's that side
look at
right
that.
there.
That's creepy. It's flipping you off because he's celoso, man. You're having too much
You
fun.
see
I'm telling
that?
you.
You see that tail he's got, Josh? He's got a long black tail. Look at that.
Yeah, no lie, man. That thing's ugly, man.
Parece for real.
You know what you guys ought to do, man? You're about like,
Oh, you're breaking up, Josh. You're breaking up.
and you guys are like so people.
He broke up,
Real
cousin.
quick, take it. Can you hear me?
Hello, in testing.
The key cars.
Coming in real patchy. Coming in real patchy.
That Dodge Charger right there. Let me get out of this garage. Can you guys hear me now?
Are you still in here, cousin?
Yeah, I'm here.
No,
Can y'all
Dave's
hear me?
got that picture of the werewolf flipping him off.
What's that?
We can hear you now. You're not coming in all broken like you were a minute ago.
Yeah, we drove through the garage, man, because we have to take pictures of these. These people got these really nice cars, man, and they park them over here. So we got to take pictures of them because they won't get stolen. 3 of these cars are like the most stolen cars in the world. So they and then they're like, my car got
Hey,
stolen. Yeah,
Primo.
because you're parking it somewhere. Right here,
What's
take a
up?
picture of that one.
August Bradshaw says he sees some faces on the curtain behind you.
It's a Charger.
All right, cousin, can you quit sharing that disrespectful werewolf?
See, I get an
All
idea,
right.
man. You know what I was thinking? Guys? Like you guys can speak Spanish, and so and you can translate better and quicker than me, you know, and so like we could get some of the people that give us stories from from Mexico. You know, when they come on and they want to tell the story because they speak better Spanish than they do English. You know, because they have to get like somebody to translate for them to me because they speak too thick. You know, so you guys could be on and we could interview them and then let them just speak it in Spanish and then you could just sit there and translate and then talk about it, you know, like with the translations, man. Like straight up the story coming straight up, you know what I mean? And there'd be some people that could understand it, but not most of the people you know wouldn't be able to understand it. But you could just like translate for them and then give me, you know, your thoughts and opinion. And they could have their person on there too, you know, to kind of help, you know. Because one guy in particular, man, this guy Trevino, I was thinking about him because I speak no English, man. So, thought about myself, just kind of experiment with it, you know. And you guys can people learn Spanish too, you know, like the audience. It'd be interesting. We could do it on your show or my show, don't matter. But I thought it would be a pretty cool like thing to do. Maybe just experiment with it.
Yeah, Navia's Angel always has to remind me that not everybody here speaks Spanglish, so I have to like catch myself because I can go from Spanish to English and English to Spanish without even thinking about it, man. Sometimes, but you know that's a South
Yeah,
Texas thing.
yeah,
Oh, you know what we had
we'll
to
be able
do?
to
Ask him
translate
about
what
the
they say.
green-eyed monster thing. Ask him what it would say. So hey, so me and Anthony were talking, and we were talking about green-eyed monster. You know, like envy, and in Spanish, what would that? How would that be? Would that be like el monstruo con ojo
El monstruo,
verde?
no, el monstruo de los ojos verdes celosos. It was jealousy. Jealousy
Jealousy.
is
Okay.
celos.
So you would add the
Celoso.
siloso in there too. That you would have to say
Yeah.
that too.
Well, it depends if
Yeah,
the
because
monster's male or female, Josh, because you have
yeah,
to give
yeah,
it a sense.
Yeah, with the O or the A for celoso or
yeah.
celosa.
Well, you know, in our case, the green-eyed monster might as well be a girl. So right,
La monstrua de los ojos verdes celosa.
yeah. Throw a cachino at the end too, like.
Cochina.
Ay,
Uh,
You don't want to
cochina.
catch her out, you can always call her a perra. Just
well,
kidding,
how would you
guys.
say it though? How would you say politically correct if it's a guy that's jealous of us that says things stupid things, you know, like green-eyed monster. You know, it'd be like el monstruo con
El
ojo
monstruo de
verde
ojos verdes celoso. Cochino.
cochino
Yeah,
and
everything is
mentiroso at the end too.
yeah,
I would say
everything in
I
Spanish
would
is
say
a
so
male or female, Josh.
Yeah,
Just like when they're talking about like the radio, no es el radio. It's the correct way to say it is la radio.
narrado. Yeah,
Yeah, I took high school Spanish, man. Got a B.
because there's different. It's like Baba, you speak English. What are you doing getting to see?
That
Oh
wouldn't be
shit!
so nice on the
Yeah, that's
introduction.
funny.
You're talking about the monster from OKC?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
like I said, Cynthia, it would
I wouldn't
depend
say
if
so
it's
nice.
male or female.
To the point. Pinche vato, pinche viejo panzón marrano con los ojos,
Pinche viejo.
con los ojos verdes,
Def-
de,
uh,
ojos verdes de moco,
Pinche,
de moco.
pinche vato
booger eyes, booger
gordo
eyes,
He's
con los ojos verdes
the,
de mierda.
booger eyes, green boogers, green eyes.
this, every
uh,
day with
uh,
that pendejo man. Otra vez every day, man. También, that fucker. And you have to deal with this guy, man. I mean, it's like, dude, don't ever shut up. His lying ass. Just and then the crazy ass pinche loca and bruja. You know, always, all the time, man. It's like every day. People don't understand. Like if they had to deal with it every freaking day, they would know. and they're like, "Oh, you just ignore it." Like, yeah, dude, and it gets really nauseating, dude. It gets to the point where it's just like every day a new thing. They come up with some new scheme, like the damn coyote and the roadrunner, dude. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, Lord, that's just the way the Mexican language is. Everything has male or female, man.
No,
That's
but
just the way
he's talking
it
like
is.
the pendejos from Oklahoma, man.
No, I was talking to Lawrence because he said, "How
Oh,
dare you have male and female?"
There's only two. What about the other 500 genders?
So some Americans.
You know what's really frustrating too? When you're talking about languages, man, like you think you got it down, and like you know, like I speak some Arabic and I speak some different languages, you know, like German, you know, French, whatever. But it's just like in Mexico, like there's different accents. Like someone from like Jalisco doesn't talk the same way somebody from like Tamaulipas. You know, it's a different. Like everybody speaks differently, and like some of them will talk with a different type of tone. Like in the Yucatan, they'll talk faster, and then you know the other ones in Guerrero, they talk more slow, like a little more deliberate. The people from Mexico City, you know, like I don't know, like what is that
You
word that
wanna?
they say when you're not from the Mexico City, but they chilangos, like those
Hey,
chilangos, they talk totally different too.
hey, Josh, you really want a challenge, man? Get it. Sit in a room full of Cubans and see who's actually having the conversation.
Dude,
No.
we had to ask like a bunch of Cubans to leave the pool the other day, and I had asked them where they were from. They were from Guantanamo area, you know.
Uh-huh.
So
They all talk at the same time, man. So you're not really sure who's really having the conversation.
yeah, they're very loud, but they haven't really given us any problems, man. There's just this one building, with one place we're at,
so crazy.
full of Venezuelans, man, and they are rowdy as shit, dude. Just you got to kind of like
Very
draw the
unlikable.
line, man. Just have boundaries, man.
Mira tu coño, ahí llegó la dondita. Puerto
You know, I
Ricans,
thought I was.
yeah, my Puerto Rican friends, they're crazy, man. Talk real
Yeah,
fast.
Cynthia.
Yeah, they talk real fast, dude.
The only French I know, Cynthia, is le chat. That's the only the cat, le chat. That's the only word I know in French.
Oui, oui, monsieur. Parlez-vous
What?
français?
Yeah,
¿Dónde
parlez-vous
está
français?
la biblioteca?
That's all I know. Then sign languages after that, you know. Well, I'm not gonna be mañoso, so I'm not gonna do the sign languages.
Hey,
I
Joe
can cuss
Breezy
somebody
was in
out
the
in French
Breezy,
like
man.
real fast. Yeah,
Man, I
come call
remember
somebody a mon chien, Douglas, mon chien.
I
Yeah.
remember my dad. My dad used to have a house full of Cubans, man, and I picked up a lot of words from them. Oye, coño, me cago en tu madre, chico.
Yeah, their Spanish is definitely different, dude, than anything from Mexico. But like I said, even people from different regions of Mexico is just it's a different, like it's all different, man, all of it.
They talk slower.
Yeah, some of them speak slower, you know, some of them speak more deliberate, you know, like I knew this guy from Galindo, and whenever he would talk, maybe it was just him because I didn't really know, like, but he was speaking Spanish and he was trying to help me understand some of the words because there was slang from there too, you know. But he would say like, you know, like
Oh, we lost Wolf. There we go.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We had lost you
Yeah, okay.
momentarily.
That was because your phone was picking up the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. So like he when he would say like instead of saying like you know siloso, you know el monstro, you know siloso ojo verde, he would say like El Maestro, you know, like, oh, joder. It was like real slow, deliberate, like, you know, that's how he
Vamos a
talked.
comer unos tacos. Vamos a la taquería. Slow mo. Te voy a dar en la madre. Hijo. They'll be cussing at you and it's a slow cuss like, te voy a dar en la madre, way. So you figure if they're talking that slow, even when they move, they're going to move slow.
That Cuban said, how was that Cuban used to say? He's like, te voy a dar un galletazo, chico. Deja la mariconería. Deja la mariconada, chico. Te doy un galletazo.
Yeah, they
You know
talk
what's my
loud
favorite
too.
word from the valley? You know what's my favorite word from the valley, primo? We used to call them vatos que eran huizos. Yeah, that was my favorite word from the valley, man. You say weasel?
Was with the Weasels from Oklahoma?
Hey, man.
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you.
Natives, man. Those are Native Americans, sir. You need to start respecting. Y'all are just some Mexicans, some beaners.
Yeah,
It's me,
man.
honey. Hey,
We
man.
are not beaners. We are guarachudos.
What? Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó?
Oh
Estaba
no,
hablando de vato.
not the San Antonio theme song, man. Come on now,
Is
national
that
anthem.
what that is?
Yep,
Is that the theme song to San Antonio?
that's the that's the national anthem for San Antonio, man.
Jeez.
But hey, cousin, I'm the best thing that ever come out of the valley, man. Freddie Fender comes in second. You, you looked at French. You looked French in high school, Monica. Wow.
Here you go. I will share
Okay.
something with you.
What's up? The puppies are coming down to see me. There
What's
they are.
up, man?
What are you doing?
Is
The
that
little dog.
Lechat? Is that Lechat?
Come here.
Let me
Mm.
share this. There you go. Let me share this right here, Theo.
Hey, Monica. I thought you knew that here I'm the
There you
Pelequi
go.
comic relief.
There you go, primo.
What's el high tech mariachi?
Orderly Holmes. What's happening? He's got a sombrero made out of Pepsi. He's got an outfit made out of Pepsi and the boots made out of Pepsi.
Ah, listo, boy. Hey,
You ever
primo.
seen it?
Do
Yeah.
you, do you, do you know how to threaten a Mexican? You tell him, ya te va a llegar el mariachi. Y digo, ¿qué fregados es esto? El tantán, güey. That's what happens at the end of every mariachi song. Tantan.
Just wanted to share that. The guys got a Pepsi sombrero, Pepsi
Are
boots.
y'all from the same town? Like Jesse? De donde eres? Where are you from?
I'm from Raymondville, man.
Raymondville.
I was actually born in Raymondville when they actually had a hospital there. They don't have a hospital there no more.
That's a
You
tiny
have,
little place.
you have to drive 30 minutes to the next biggest town to get to the hospital. But yeah, me and Abe are from the same town, I think. I know that I grew up in Fort Worth, man, but I did live in Raymondville for a while when I used to live with Abe.
Mm.
When I almost got dragged under the bed by that damn thing that tried to drag me under the bed. All it did was maypole me on the damn foot of the bed.
I would always tell them, "Are you sure you want to sleep by there?"
I never slept between the couch and the bed again.
Tell them what happened. Tell them the story, cousin.
Check it out, man. I was sleeping by that window where that smiley face dude used to appear every night. And one night, that night, Abe was throwing the cushions from the couch, where, the futon where he slept. He was throwing the cushions in between the bed and the couch. So I said, I think I'll sleep there tonight. And around 3 in the morning, something grabbed me by my calf, my left calf, and tried to pull me under the bed. But my legs split open, man, and I was caught by instead of dragging me under the bed, it was just pulling me back. It was just pulling me into the foot of the bed, man. Finally managed to punch it off my leg. I jumped up, turned on the lights, and I looked under the bed. There was nothing there. Yes, Anoki boy, 817 all the way, bro. I live in Northside. You still here, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that night, man, that I got pulled up under the bed like that, man, and it almost took me all the way. I wonder where it would have took me.
They're afraid. They're afraid to sleep there at night. We have fun. Once one nighttime will come, it's like everybody like ready to go
Let's
to
see.
sleep because they didn't want to see the things that were around. You know, there was a lot of activity there, man.
The bad thing, Josh, is we had to sleep with the windows open because we didn't have any ceiling fans, any air conditioning, nothing. So all the windows were open, and we were just at the mercy of whatever was around the house. You couldn't walk. You couldn't walk on the floor because something would be banging under your feet while you walked under the floor from under the house, like it was trying to come through the door. I mean, through the floor.
Sometimes you hear something running on top of the roof,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
something running inside the house towards
Mm-hmm.
you. Yeah, and then it would run back, but you couldn't see it. You know, that's why
That house
cousin just
was. That
does
house
he tell us
was.
about the night that when I came spooked and told us something that happened.
That night when we played chicken with the with the black shadow beam.
I think I shared the story with you, brother Josh, where I was driving and I was gonna go visit my mom's grave and at the cemetery, and I could see the lights from the ranch behind me, and I'm driving the truck, and next thing I'm not seeing the lights of the ranch, and I'm looking at the speedometer. Speedometer says 30, but my truck is not going forward, and the poles are still there. So then I step on the gas to 40, and I'm still not going forward. Next thing you know, it felt like something dropped the rear end of the truck on the ground. When it dropped it, I lost control. I almost hit one of the poles.
That
So
has
I was
nothing to
freaked
do with
out.
the show, Salem
Home.
Images.
I drove home and I get in the house and they're like, "Hey, what's the matter?" And I was just spooked, and I was telling them that something had happened. So him and my brother went to go check the truck. What'd you find wrong with the truck, cousin?
When we went out to the truck, man, because we thought he was bull crapping us, man. So we went out. I was wasted, man. I had been smoking and drinking all day, and the tailgate was ripped off the truck. Luckily that it had chains on it because it was an old truck. It was the one that you put those chain hooks on there. That's the only thing that kept that tailgate from being lost. It was dragging it. So I told Primo, hey man, we put it back on, and I said, hey man, take me to the store, man. I want to go get another quart. And he goes, okay. So we took off to the store, man, and we were riding dirty, man. The truck didn't have any inspection stickers or plates on the truck. So we went through the back roads, man, and we parked in the back of the store so that the cops couldn't see it. I went in and bought my quart, man, and came back out. And as I'm coming back out, Primo is going, hurry up, man, hurry up, get in, get in. I said, why, man? He goes, look, look. I turned around. I saw this biggest shadow figure I had ever seen, man. It was huge. and wide, and I lost my buzz. We took off hauling, man, because it was a three on the tree. We took off hauling, man, as fast as it would go. And then Primo Age starts playing chicken with the damn thing, man. He's like, he runs toward it, and right before he hits it, he swerves off. He turns around, comes back, and man, I just tell you, man. By the time
Yeah,
we
I was
got back
pissed
to the
off.
house,
I was mad. I said, I'm not going to run away from it.
I
I'm
was
going to face
completely
it.
sober, man. When I got home, I was completely sober,
It was in
and
the
my beer
road.
was hot.
Yeah, inside the town, in the city.
Oh,
In the city, man. And luckily the cops didn't come. I was like playing
Doing
chicken, and I
donuts
was
and
taking
whatnot. He was doing donuts and
through
whatnot.
Jesse's side. Through Jesse's side, I'll go around through Jesse's window, and
Yeah,
the thing
always
was
my window.
standing
Always
there,
my
man.
window, man. He wouldn't risk himself, he risked me. And I was like, hurry up, man, let's go home. My beard's getting hot.
And I was like, I wasn't afraid of it, man. I was messing with it, and
what do you
it
think it
was
was?
It was a black shadow figure, man. It was tall. It was at least, I'm gonna say 15 feet tall, and it was wide, man. I'm gonna say maybe it took up a whole lane in the street. That's how wide it was.
huge. And I said, "Fuck! I ain't running away from it. I ain't running. I'm not showing it no fear."
Yes,
And
Jaime.
I kept on going at it with the truck, man, playing like, how the, what do you call it, with a bull, like the what are those guys
The
that have the red,
matadors.
A matador.
like a
Yeah,
matador, man, but with a truck. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think I kind of lost it, dude. Like I was like, fuck this mother. I got pissed. Like I was going after it and going around it. And how
yeah. He
long
was
did we?
going after it and around it, but risking me. Que se lo lleve a Jesse. Mr. Primo.
And I was laughing, and I was like, that's the last time you're gonna ask me to bring you to the store to buy a
And it
quart of
was.
beer.
It was. I would rather. I used to walk instead, man, because I didn't want to play chicken with no damn black shadow beer.
And he was saying, "Hey, leave it alone, leave it alone." I was like, "Fuck that." And I think
Yeah.
when, like, how many times, cousin, did I go back and forth with it?
I'm gonna say 5 or 6 times, man. Yeah, Breezy. What year was your truck, Primo?
It
50
was a
what?
65 Ford.
It was a 65 Ford
Had
step
that,
side,
that
man.
lightning bolt in the front.
You had a step side on the back, man. It
Yes,
was
that's
a
right.
three-seater. Had a bench, so you could only fit 3 people in the truck.
So we made it home and everything safely, But then after that, it's when they started seeing something looking through the top window with red eyes.
Yeah, yeah, in the restroom.
So
Wow.
it might have been able to, it might have followed us home for me playing with it. Well,
Yeah.
I was pissed off. I know I kind of lost it, man.
You
I,
know,
I'm not afraid. I tried to run it over, but it wouldn't do nothing to it. Go right through it.
and I thought that was the only one around your house that had red eyes.
Yeah,
You
I tried to hit it
ain't
with
give
a
me
truck,
shit, man.
brother Josh, because I had like a grill on the front. Go right through it, and it would still be standing there. Did it have red eyes, cousin Jesse?
Yes, it had red eyes, and
Red,
you were
like red
you
eyes,
were
man.
trying to hit it with your bumper guard. We got home, man. As soon as we get home, I rolled up, smoked, and I drank that hot beer. As hot as it was, I drank it just like that, man. It hit me real good. Got my buzz back.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink or do drugs. I was just trying to figure out what it was, because that's what had lifted me on the dirt road. Because it came through the field. Uh, where that road finished, there's a field, a labor, and it came through there out of the field, and I think it was coming from that vicinity where, because the cemetery is further out, but I believe it was the same thing that lifted the truck. I mean, how he lifted it, I don't know. If it's so supernatural, it might have some kind of a power manifestation to lift it, but it lifted the truck, the rear end. But every time
You,
didn't I go through it a couple of times, pretty much.
Yes, and I was telling you to stop, but you were like, "Nah, I'm gonna get this thing." I was like, "Man, my beard's getting hot."
Yeah. I think how old was I? Like 17,
I
18.
think you were like 16, and I was 17 because I'm a year older than you.
Yeah, I was like 16.
Yeah, Joe Breezy, we used to do the same thing, and my homeboy's 54 Ford. He had a yellow one. It was also a three on the tree, and we would all just steal it, man. Because any key would turn it on. It had one of those ignitions that was like bent in the middle, and we would steal that, and we'd go cruising in other neighborhoods, looking for trouble. Because every neighborhood over here is a different gang, and we would go date chicks that weren't in our neighborhood, so we were always causing drama, man.
Yeah, cousin Jesse. Yeah, he was too worried about the beer and the buzz, than what we were dealing with. Me, I didn't want that thing to follow me home, so I was trying to run it over, but it wouldn't do nothing to it. It would go right
I
through it,
see.
and
Hmm.
it'll be standing there. You can see the form, you see the red eyes. It was huge. It was taller than the truck, way bigger than the truck.
Yeah, Madeline, my Badger days, because uh, honey badgers don't care.
Jesse, you seen it? Jumped in the truck, and we took off, and he caught up real fast to us, man. Went to the next block over, and he was already right there on us.
It was
And
keeping up, man. We were doing like 35, 40 miles an hour in the city limit. We were speeding, and it was right there, right behind us, man.
then I turned around, and I said, "Fuck this! I ain't running away from it." And I went try to run it over, and went right through it.
Good night, learning.
But it was weird that I went through it, but then it was still standing there, like because it was in disembodied form, in spirit form.
Exactly, Madeline.
But it was a dark shadow figure. It was, you could see the silhouette.
At that point of my life, Madeline, I really didn't give one. I didn't give one or two. Primo used to wonder how I used to survive because I was always fighting people, man. Me and my brother we were always fighting people. No power steering, Joe Breezy. Nope, nope. That was a cool little truck. That little blue truck you had, Primo, that was a cool little truck, man. It had a good engine.
But
Well, guys,
there was one problem with it. It was haunted.
Yeah, your mom used to appear there at night on a full moon.
I don't think it was her.
wow.
I don't think it was her. I think it was
The Hat Man?
a demon that was manifesting to look like her. You at nighttime you could hear the door open and close.
Yep,
Sometimes
yep.
it'll open and close several times, like 20 times.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, and then the truck was parked right in
So
front of the front door.
you would look out the window and you could see her manifestation of like her
Her
sitting
silhouette.
on the passenger side.
Yep.
Well,
And
hey
then
guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta go. I gotta go to the gym.
yeah,
Try to get, I gotta get up early tomorrow. But it was good talking to you guys, man. And Jesse, I want you to come on the show and tell your encounters, man. And Abe, come on and show some of those videos, dude. And we'll do a show together for sure, real
yeah.
soon.
All righty, brother.
Yeah, man. I'll see
Just
you
let me
guys.
know. All righty.
See you when I see you, man. Take it
Yeah,
easy.
I'll let you know, man.
Thank you for being
All
joining us tonight.
All right, later.
later, man. Bye.
Yeah. So what was I saying? I was saying something. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was haunted. The truck was haunted. Tell him, cousin, how it was weird.
Yeah,
Like
man. You could see a silhouette sitting in the passenger seat, and then the doors would open and close, and that's not bad enough, man. It was worse. was that the truck was parked right in front of the front door. So you could see the back of the truck and the back of the silhouette that was sitting in the passenger seat. And then you see the door open on the passenger seat and close and
It'll make
open
that
and
noise
close.
like
Yeah, it
that.
that door would squeak real bad.
You look and see the silhouette, and then
Yeah, it
sometimes
was
you
crazy.
where they close the door real hard. Sometimes it'll make loud sounds like. So I had to get rid of it, man. I had no choice because the activities happened in the truck. Then it started happening in the house,
Oh wow, that was after I left.
where we could be outside the house, nobody inside the house, and all of a sudden, the light in the kitchen would turn on. When it would turn on, you see like a very bright, like the bright. The light is like shining real bright, and then it was phew, no more light. But when it would shine real bright, you could see the manifestation of my mother in the kitchen,
Oh
right there by the
wow,
sink, looking. It would
I'm
just
glad
shut
I
off.
never saw that. I'm glad I never saw that, man. I'm glad that
And I
happened
had
when
my
I
own
didn't live
time,
in
and
home.
that's the reason I got rid of the truck. I sold it to some guy that was dating. What was the girl's name? Nora. What's her name? Conde. Nora
Diana?
Conde. Or some guy. Jamie something. I can't remember his name. I sold the truck to him because it was bringing the activity from outside the truck to inside the house. You could be
Wow,
outside, the light in the kitchen would turn on. Then when it starts going real bright, you see the manifestation in the window in the kitchen, and
wow,
then it would go so real bright, and then all of a sudden, as it's bright, no light, darkness, and it's like,
it's crazy.
say, hey, you gonna go try to turn on the light in the first room? Say, hell no, I'm not going in there. Uh, so my brother and sisters, my brother and sisters, they were scared. So my sister sometimes would see the manifestation in the house when she was asleep, or she'd be standing over her and stuff. So I had to get rid of the truck.
When you got
I
rid
know
of
it
the
wasn't
truck, did
her.
all that stop?
I don't think it. I know it wasn't her. It was demons or DDN. They take those manifestations of our loved ones. I had to get rid of it.
When you got rid of it, did all that stop?
Yeah, the activity stopped once I got rid of the truck. But what's weird about it that the girl that the guy I sold the truck to, which was Nora, she got killed at the Delta Lake by the
Wow,
by the guy she was dating
wow.
not too long ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years, 6 years ago.
No, the one they found in the in the water pipe. I was actually in Raymondville when that happened, man. They found her
Well,
in that water
that
pipe.
girl, the guy that I sold the truck to, that girl they were together, but then I guess they broke up and she was dating some other guy. But it was weird to me that because she did was around that truck, and the way she died, it was crazy. So I was like, maybe it's related in some kind of way, that poltergeist or demon that was in the truck, if it was sitting in the yard or whatever, that something might have transferred or affected them a certain way, or she sat in the seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep. Well, cousin, I can't believe we've been on for 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours, 15 minutes, man. Is everybody enjoying the show so far? please comment with a thumbs up. Like the hit that like button so that the show will grow.
Yeah, a lot of poltergeist activity. Some of the other activity that would happen is you hear the the water in the sink, the faucet open and close. Nighttime, you will see dishes elevated in the air, like somebody is there with a cup of with a glass, and then it goes and put it back in the sink. But when the activity was really picking up, there's flying dishes flying everywhere, breaking, knives flying, hitting the walls, getting stuck in the walls, and forks, spoons, But it's because of the truck that was there, was causing all that activity. So I had to get rid of it, man. I had no choice.
Yeah, I remember when I fixed that truck because it was just sitting there, man. Yeah, I would never move it, and I put a nail in there, and the gears worked.
He had a good engine and everything.
The transmission was solid when that pin wouldn't fall out of it.
Yeah,
Can't believe he wrecked like two or three police cars with that truck, and nothing happened to that truck.
yeah. Nothing happened to the truck. The police cars were all
Total.
smashed in, but the truck there was nothing wrong with it.
Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Everybody's enjoying the show, cousin. Hello, Aninaki, bro. I didn't even know you were in here, man. I know it's a little late, but welcome, man.
My sister B, she would tell me what she would see, and she would see the poltergeist activity. Uh, my little brother and sisters, they remember sometimes seeing her, but they were too small. But yeah, I had to get rid of it because it went from, how I told you, brother and sisters, sometimes if you hear like three knockings, at the time I was younger, so I didn't have the wisdom and knowledge I had now. If I would have heard the doors open and closing the way they were, I would have just tied bound and rebuked it in Jesus Christ's name. But it was pretty hot and heavy there. How many times would you hear that, Primo, throughout the night?
Man, that would be all night long, Primo. It would be all night long that it would open and close, man. All night long till like 6 in the morning, right before we got up to go to school.
Yeah.
Monica H wants to know if you have a brujo encounter. The only encounter I have with a brujo, Monica, is when he took me for a year and he erased my memory. I don't. That's the only encounter I have with the brujo. He was blind. I'm pretty sure cousin Abe has encountered more brujos than I have.
Yeah, I've had several encounters with brujos. I'm looking this up to real quick and I'll get to y'all.
Can't believe how fast 2 hours went, man.
Yeah. We could go for a little bit more and then we call it a night.
Well,
Tomorrow,
I
tomorrow I
got
won't have a live because I'm going to the dance with my wife.
I got
Yes, I had.
36%.
Was that Primo?
I have 36% power, man.
Yeah, I had an encounter with a brujo up here in Central Texas, where I was taking the hop from Killeen to Temple to the VA because you only pay like $1 and it'll take you back and forth with $1. So it saves you gas money and everything, right? So I had taken it, and I remember when I went inside the hop. It's called a hop. There was this man there, and he had his hand in his pocket, and he's saying, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this." And he's saying, "You're one of us." And when I look, he's looking at me, and he's speaking to me, and he's like, I see like he's got like a amulet or pendant inside his something in his pocket that he's rubbing. And he says, "I don't want to do this. You're one of us." And I'm looking at him, And I said, if you believe in Jesus Christ, then I'm one of you. But if you don't, you're not talking about Jesus Christ, and you're trying to do something against me, don't do it. If you have family, you have children, granddaughters, don't do it because it's going to go back to you. When I said that to him, he pulled his hand out of his pocket and looked away from me. And that's the last time I seen him. Whether he did something or not, I do not know because I never seen him again. But it was an encounter I had with to me, it was a brujo. And then there was another encounter with a different brujo, but there was one of the encounters with somebody that, is a brujo, a warlock, right? Another encounter where my sisters invited me to go play bingo. Right, this happened in Copper's Cove, Texas. Uh, so I went over there to play bingo with them, and it was me, my two sisters, and there was this man sitting in the corner. And my sister said that there were a friend of theirs. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's like a psychic, and he knows how to do this and that." So I'm just sitting there, and me, I stick to my faith and believe in Jesus Christ. So as they're looking at me, and he comes sits down in front of me and says, "Hey, you want to play a game with me?" I say, "Sure." I mean, what are we playing? A game of cards or something? And so he showed me a number, right? Showed me a number, and he placed the card down, and he placed three cards, right? I don't know. Yeah, he placed three cards, and he said, "Is it this card? Is it this card? Or is it this card?" It was none of the cards, right? So he got rid of the two cards, and then the card that he just flipped it back upside down, and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his every move. Then he flipped the card back up, but when he flipped it, it was the card that I initially seen, and then he told me that he was a warlock, and I said, nice trick, but I believe in Jesus Christ, so I prayed against him because I felt that he was trying to do something spiritually. So I prayed against him, and I stopped going to that bingo hall. To my understanding, my sister said that the man had done something to his son, or something dealing that it's a generational thing that is uh all the family members are into witchcraft. That there were warlocks and witches. Um, I feel like when we were playing this game, like there was a bubble. There was no time. It was just me and him. But
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, that's another warlock that I met, and he said he was a warlock. Let me see. I think I've met many brujos throughout my lifetime. The one that came at me with a machete, he was a brujo, Santanista, a Satanist. He was a brujo, a warlock. The story I share with you that he was dealing with a man that members of the church, the wife had gotten cancer and he had gotten sick, and they needed somebody to cut his grass. And my mom volunteered me and my brother, but my brother didn't want to go. So I said, "That's all right. I got it. It's not that big of a yard." So I had to clean the corral in the back of his house where there was a goat. So I go over there and I cut the grass, the little bit of grass he got in the front yard, and I'm cleaning out the corral. As I'm cleaning out the corral, I hear the gate open. As I was cleaning the corral, I could see him laying down in the bed. But as I kept on putting the food for the goat and putting the water in the bucket, I heard the gate open of the corral and it closed, and it was him. And he put a lock on it, locked it. He grabbed a machete from the corner pole and he starts swinging it very violently. And he looks at me and he started laughing. He's laughing. I was like, "Hey, what's so funny?" And I'm looking at myself, thinking I might have gotten dirty or something, but I had nothing on me. And then and I said, "What's the matter?" And I said his name. Then he said, "That's not my name." And he said that he tricked everybody in the church. And he said that he was a Santanista, which means Satanist. And he started swinging the machete very violently. And he told me, I can kill you right now. There's nothing that anybody can do to you. And I was just looking at him. I wasn't scared or nothing. But then he said, "You know what? I'm gonna show you I can kill you because I'm gonna kill you now." So he comes at me, swinging the machete, and like he's got me back at the corner of the corral, and it's coming. Because I back up a little bit because I'm trying to dodge the swings of the machete. And then I told him, I got a message for you. And he stopped swinging the machete. And he said, "What is the message?" And I told him, "God told me to tell you that if you take another step forward or try to swing, that your life here on earth is over." He tried to lift the machete. He couldn't lift the machete. He tried to take a step forward. Couldn't take a step forward. So I was able to climb over the fence of the corral and start walking away. He couldn't move. He was like frozen because the Heavenly Father had full control over him. Uh, he couldn't turn around and look at me. The only thing he could do is speak. And he said, "Tell your parents what happened here. They're not going to believe you." So I walk all the way home. How far is there from my house? Like 7 blocks, somewhere around there. I can remember. So I walk home. I tell my parents what happened. I told them the whole story. They get me in the station wagon, and we go over there, park in front of his house, and they're honking, and he's coming out of the house, and it's like, "Is it true what he's saying? What you did?" And he was like, he's looking at me with a certain smile on his face, and he says, "You know how kids are; they like to lie." So basically, my parents didn't know who to believe, and this kind of messed up, because I'm the son. So uh, that's the way to stay. But since he was a brujo, and the Heavenly Father told me to give him the message, if he got another step closer to me, that he wouldn't, his time on earth was over. What he would do is send people after me, because he knew that there was a seven-time fold in effect. So he would get people that he would pay money to come after me or uh, put hits out on me to try to take me out. Because if he got close to me, then his time on earth was going to be over. And he knew that. That's why he stayed away from me. But as to my understanding, he suffered a horrible death.
That's weird, cousin. Here it is, 1:30 in the morning, and none of the dogs have been barking at all tonight. They bark every night. Tonight they haven't barked at all. It's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, I was being protected by the Heavenly Father. And so this guy, after that, he stayed away from me, but he would send people after me for about, when I was 10 till I left Raymondville. And I left, I was uh, 19 when I joined the military. But for 8 years, he was always messing with me, sending people after me. He wouldn't come near me. If he did something, it would be from a distance, but he wouldn't get close to me. He kept his distance away because he knew that what the Heavenly Father said, that if he took another step forward or swung, that his time on earth was over. So he would stay with me, but he would get people to come after me. El Ninja came after me because of the money. I think it was like 20,000 that he put out there for me to be killed. That was a hit, something like that. Ninja tried, but then he said he couldn't because I was there for his mom's funeral. You know, his mom died when I was in junior high, but he told me, I'm just warning you that they're coming for you. You know, that's what he told me. Be ready. You know how Raymond is. Tell him about how the town, how crooked the town is, but poor. That anybody would do anything for any
Yeah,
kind of money.
over there, man, there's no kind of opportunity. The whole town is full of nepotism. So if you're not related to a certain family, you can't find work there. You have to wind up working in the fields. And anything would do anything for a buck. Anybody would do anything for a buck. I mean, that's just how it is. But you know what, cousin? I have a story to tell you. I don't know if I've ever told you, man. You remember my friend Joe Cantu?
Gordo,
I took Joe Cantu. I took him to your house a couple of times, man. He was one of my friends. He had like really puffy curly hair, skinny guy, short.
Joe
Yeah.
Cantu.
Anyway, man, he used to say that he was a wizard, a brujo. And then one time when we were leaving,
Are you talking about Toby Cantu's brother?
yeah,
Toby
yeah,
and is it Toby? No,
yeah,
but the one that Cantu's.
they lived over there close to the Myra Green.
Oh no, Joe Cantu, Joe Cantu. No, I can't. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I took him to your house a couple of times, man, because he would always hang out with me, and I would hang out with him, man. We used to both work at that arcade by the stars.
With Ernest,
Yeah, with Ernest. Anyway, one night we were leaving from your house, man, and we were down the street. I think maybe over there by La Blanca Furniture. You remember where
yeah,
La tia, my aunt used to own
yes,
that furniture store?
yep.
Because that was one of my dad's aunts, man, that owned that place. And these guys came up out of nowhere, man, in a pickup, and they started talking crap to him, dude. And he stepped back from them. He picked his arms up like this, man. And when he did that, a real strong wind came out of nowhere, man. And then it started thundering and lightning, and those guys took off. And I looked at him, and here, man, smoke this. That's what I told him, dude. Here, smoke this. Calm down, dude. But yeah, man, he lifted his arms, and the wind came out of nowhere, and it started thundering and lightning. And then when those guys left, and he put his arms down, everything calmed down. It was. I thought it was really, really strange. My hair stood up everywhere when he did that, man. That's why I sparked up and calmed him down. But
Joker.
yeah, he was.
I'm trying to place the how you look. Joe Cantu.
Yeah, he was older than me, man.
So you say he lifted his hands and he caused a storm to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Now I found that weird, man, because I was standing right by him. He was right here and looking into the truck through the window. And them guys were, no, que te vamos a partir la madre, this and that, this and that. And he stepped back and went like that. And it was a calm night, man. There was no wind or nothing, man. We were walking, just going to back to the arcade. When he went like that, man, the real strong wind came in and it got dark. You couldn't see the moon anymore. It started thundering and lightning, man. And when they took off peeling off, he put his hands down. Everything went back to the way it was.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever told you that, man. I should have told you that a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I'm trying to remember how he looked, man.
He was short, man. Had a little mustache, and his hair was curly, dude. He was skinny. He's the other guy that worked there with me and Ernest, with that for Ernest and Freddy Krueger. Because Ernest and Freddy Krueger were
I recall
partners.
him, man. I'm trying to remember how he looked. I can't recall him.
¿Cómo se llamaba Freddy Krueger? Fred Alejandro. Fred
Yeah,
Alejandro and Ernest were partners in that arcade, man.
yeah.
And me and Joe Cantu and I were the employees, man. We're the ones that ran that place. As a matter of fact, my daughter is named the way she's named because he told me if you ever have a daughter, just name her this, and that's why her name is what it is. He's a good friend to me, man. Good friend to me. But when I quit working there at that arcade, man, I lost contact with him, man. The day after I quit, they got raided and they found a bunch of stuff in the arcade, man.
I think they planted it there. The cops.
No, no, no. They didn't plant it. It was. I knew it was there. Joe knew it was there. Fred knew it was there.
Hmm.
And I told Fred, hey man, I'm quitting. Nah, man, I give you more money, man. I give you more money. I said, nah, man, I got a bad feeling, man. I'm gone. And the very next day, they got raided, and yep, they found stuff in there.
So they busted him.
Oh yeah, they busted him.
So Ernest wasn't there no more with
No,
him.
Ernest had already gotten your sister and left. They had already moved from Raymondville. I think they moved from Raymondville.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but Ernest had already was already dating your sister, and he quit. He quit going to the arcade. He sold Fred his part of it.
Because Fred turned it from a business to something else.
Yep, yep. We had a code. If you come in and say break this $10 bill, that means you wanted a $10 sack. If you say give me change for $1, that means you wanted some powder.
What the hell?
Yep. They found both in one in each in green and one pool table and white in the other pool table. You remember he had two pool tables back there because we used to go play pool there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they cold busted his ass, man. Just like the very next day after I quit, man. I'm glad I quit.
But there's a Winnie got busted too, no?
Who?
Winnie, Medina,
Mm,
the
don't
little short
know.
guy that hang with Fred.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he got busted too because he's the one who he took my spot after I got out.
Oh man, yeah, they busted him.
Mm-hmm.
They, they knocked all his teeth in the prison.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you have a big mouth. You know the saying, man. What do you tell a guy with two black eyes? Nothing. Somebody already told him twice.
Man. Yeah, I would tell him, man. He said, "Well, you talking like you're big, man." It's because he was twirling and dealing. He knew that those people had his back and stuff. Yeah, I had seen him. I don't know whatever happened to him, man.
Mm-hmm.
I told him to get out of that shit, and start doing something else. He's always trying to corrupt my brother Tommy and shit. I was in the army, and I told him, hey, you better leave my brother alone, or else I'm gonna whoop your ass. Leave him alone. Don't be trying to corrupt him.
You know how it is in Raymondville when you're going to the public school system. There's only
Yeah.
two things you can do. You can be a athlete or you can be a pothead. That's the only two things you can do there. Hmm. Me, I was a pothead.
No, he wasn't a brujo. He was a drug dealer.
No, the dude that worked with me at that business,
Oh,
Monica,
the guy that
was a
worked.
brujo. Yeah, one, Joe Cantu. He's my best friend, man. At least I thought he was.
I was just trying to place a face, how he looked and everything.
Yeah, he was older, man. He was older than me, man. I was a teenager. He was already in his 20s, man. But yeah, that
They
was
say
wild, man. I'll never
the
forget how
hour
that.
and 40 minute. So he's giving
That's,
you an example of some of the activity that happens in Raymondville with, somebody said that who had stories of warlock. Well, he's sharing a story with you of a warlock.
you know what, man? I've never told that to anybody. This is the first time I've ever re-encountered that,
Yeah,
man.
I think it's the first time you've ever spoken about this. It's like your
Mm-hmm.
memory is opening up and you're remembering things that you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
forgotten.
yeah. And I, like I said, I remember he got mad because they were wanting to whip his ass, man. And we were standing there, and the guy inside the truck pulled a gun. He pulled a gun, and right when he pulled the gun, he stepped back and raised his arms up, man. And all that started happening. Them dudes took off peeling off, man. They didn't
Was
want
he
no part of
scared?
me.
Was he
Yeah, they got
scared?
scared. Yeah, they got scared. What would you do, cousin? You're over here threatening somebody, and this fool steps back, picks his arm up. It's a calm night. Then a strong wind comes in, it turns black, and then there's thunder and lightning. I would have took off too. But yeah, man, that was weird. It's because I didn't even know he was a brujo, man. I didn't. When I asked him what happened, that's when he told me that he was a warlock, that he was a brujo. And after what I seen, I believed him. The only thing that went through my mind was like, glad I'm your friend. So that's two people that I'm friends with, that I was friends with, that were brujos, man. It was Joe Cantu and uh, Juan Garza.
Juan Garza, yeah.
Yeah. People tell me weird stories about him, man. That he used to eat his boogers and stuff in school. I never met him when he went to school, man, because I never went to school over there in elementary.
He would act weird, man. I think sometimes he'll go in there and his Fruit of the Looms.
Wow.
The principal would go to his house to pull him to go to school. He didn't want to go to school.
So he show up in his underoos.
Well, no, because they'll drag him out of the house.
Wow.
They were forcing him to come to school. He didn't want to go to school. If I remember correctly, something like that. I remember being in his. He was a big kid. I don't know. It was him and then Danny Diaz was another one.
Yeah, that Danny Diaz is the one that
Hit him with the paddle.
that
The principal. Back then they had the paddle. Yeah.
yeah back that Danny Diaz guy. That's the one that got arrested with my brother for robbing Taquito Hut.
Taquito Hut.
Yeah. That little restaurant right there on where the coaster used to be. There was a little restaurant right next door.
Oh yeah.
My mom used to work there, man, and my brother and that dude broke in, and my brother got arrested running down the alley with a cash register.
You robbed your own mom?
He robbed the business where she worked.
and he got caught.
Needless to say, my mom got fired because of him.
But he got caught.
Yeah, he got caught. They both did.
Dumb criminals.
Yep,
What is it? Dummies for burglars.
yep. They needed to read that book, Burglary for Dummies.
Yeah, burglars for dummies. Yeah, another incident of a brujo that I had was in Fort Hood. Well, in Killeen. I had a dream of this man. I could see this man the way it looked. He was wearing a hat. He had white hair. And in the dream, the man said he's coming for me. So I just left it at that. Like 2 weeks passed by, and I went to go shoot some pool at the pool hall. There was quite a bit of people in there, so I sat on the stool bar at the bar on the stool. So I'm up there. I get my beer, and I'm sitting right by the edge where the waitress goes in and out of the bar from in the bar. So as I'm gonna grab my beer, I feel like somebody's looking at me. And when I look to the left, the dude is looking right at me. And it's the guy that I seen in the dream that said he was coming for me. So then I face in and we're looking at each other. He's like literally like a 1.5 arm, an arm and a half reach from me. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. We're locking eyes with each other. And I say, like, don't do it. And it went like telling me what. And then I said, and I went like that, like, don't do it or else. So then he said, he got up, looked at me like that, and walked towards right across the bar. Then he turned around and looked at me like this, and then went like this, and he touched the owner of the bar. He dropped his hand and he walked out. That night, the owner of the bar died from a brain aneurysm.
Wow.
I believe he was carrying the maldad. She's the one that paid him to do me harm. So instead of the maldad going back to him, he gave it to her. And she didn't even remember that he touched her because she was too busy drinking.
Wow.
And she died that night of a brain aneurysm. So years passed by. I'm drinking and I'm dancing with my wife in a different town, different location, and I'm dancing. And then I feel like somebody's looking at me, and I look around, and they're like, same guy looking at me from a distance, and he sees me, and he's like he got pissed off. He turned around and walked out the exit sign. He was there to try to do something else to me again, but I haven't seen him anymore.
Just trying to catch you off guard.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy, man.
my senses will let me know. The Heavenly Father can show you your enemies ahead of time. That's what he did. He showed me that guy was my enemy. And in the dream, he said he's coming for me. But I'm still here. Yeah, I haven't done nothing to these people. It's just when you have a spiritual hit on you, there's a hit, and there's money involved. People are going to take that and try to do something to whoever the hit is on, or sometimes they have to follow orders because there's a certain chain of command they have to go through, I guess, a structure. So they're just following orders. The demons or whatever they worship are telling them, go do something to this guy or whatever. Spiritual warfare is very real.
That's
I
crazy,
haven't run
man.
in, I haven't run into him again, but I know how he looks. If I see him again, he's probably older now. I'll give another example or something like that, but this is with a bruja. You got to be careful not to let a complete stranger come and touch you or pat you in the back or something, because they can be trying to transfer something to you. So there was this day I was out at the BMW where I'm going to go tomorrow. And there was this lady dressed all in black. She comes up to me and she touches me on the shoulder and she says, "Break a leg." So, like I said, I've been battling for a long time, so I already know that that's a indirect way of witchcraft. So as she was walking away, I just pat her back and I said, "Have a good dance." Okay? So she walked away. Uh, that night, she broke her leg.
Nice, Cynthia. Rest well.
She broke her leg. So then
Wow.
when I see her with the crutches and the cast, she looked at me and just turned away because I gave her the maldad back to her. You know, you got to be careful. Yeah, cousin Jesse was. Wouldn't the person that took you in be considered a brujo,
Huh?
or he's got a different title?
Yeah,
The one,
he's a brujo.
the palero.
Oh no, he's got a different title, man. A palero is different from a brujo and from a warlock, man, because it's a totally different religion, man.
Jaime says this convents network giving Latin witchcraft. They're everywhere, man.
Yeah, man. A palero, he's like a voodoo priest, man. The palería is basically voodoo,
So
primo.
I got a question for you. Si yo andaba echando palo con todas las viejas allá en el valle, would it make me a palero too?
Yep, yep. And and
Get
since
it?
you didn't have very many kids, man, you were practicing the art of no palito.
Sorry, if you don't know Spanish, you don't know the joke. Sorry about that, guys.
I just explained that Monica Palero is like a voodoo priest. He
But
works with. They
a
call him a
palo means a
palero.
stick. Get it?
They call him a palero because he works with a staff. And what he does is he'll go to the graveyard and steal bones, and the souls that are attached to those bones have to do his bidding because he'll take them to a place and he will bury them in cemetery dirt, and then he would put like a sword in there, or the staff that he uses, he puts it into the dirt where the remains are, and then he'll have like spiders, he'll have serpents,
Snakes,
all
yeah.
kinds of evil stuff in there, and through a blood sacrifice, he can send that soul to do his bidding, be it for good or be it for evil. As long as the soul doesn't care, as long as it's a piece by blood. And since they really don't want to do human sacrifices anymore, they sacrifice animals such as doves, chickens, goats, pigs, stuff like that.
No palitos.
I thought you liked that,
Yeah, that's talking about. I guess I must be a palero. It was
man.
echando palo. Get it? That's what I was trying to
Yeah, I
say.
did.
Echando
Yeah, I
palo.
did.
No,
Yeah, man.
no palitos.
A female can't be a palero. Sorry, you don't have the equipment.
El carnal is laughing over there.
Who's
Oh
laughing?
man, so well, shit. Echando
Who's
palo,
laughing?
bro.
Oh, is he
Yeah,
the one on your Linda?
yeah.
No, okay.
He's there. He was laughing.
Yeah, that's it. I'm the
So
plucky comic relief, cuz.
Yes, we're I'm a palero too. Chendo palo.
Sando
I
palo.
used to be. I didn't know.
You didn't know you were a priest, a palero priest?
El carnal es palero.
También.
No palitos.
No palitos. You're gonna remember that from now on, because every time you check it, I
When
know
you're
you're gonna
younger,
be
you're a
looking for
palero. Then when you get older, you're no palitos no more.
yeah, no
No
palitos.
palitos.
That's the Mexican contraceptive, no palitos.
Dang it. Any questions, anybody? For talking here.
That's the wrong kind of a cactus, Monica. That's a jacobo. We're talking about the round ones that grow the dragon fruits. Yes, Jaime. The only reason I know what I know about paleria is because I used to practice that because that's what my dad was into. Most of the stuff that I showed over here the last time, that was all Santeria.
Do you got any? You remember? When you say you didn't have no encounters with no brujos.
No,
Oh,
just
yeah.
I, I've never
Your
been.
friend. Your friend.
Well, there was a palero that came to visit, cousin. He came to visit, and
Oh,
we
tell them that
accepted
story, cousin. Tell them that story.
we accepted him at our house. And my little sister, she stood 4 foot tall, cute little thing, man. Well, she could interpret dreams, and you tell her the dream you had, and she would tell you what the dream meant. And if she ever dreamt about you, whatever she dreamt about you would always come to pass. So this bastard that came from Florida, he took a liking to her, but he wanted her soul. So he started sending spirits to torment my sister. And since my dad le dio la entrada, he let him come in. He was sending these things to through the front door and into the house. They were coming into the house, and he would send them. And they were driving my little sister crazy, man, because she couldn't sleep because she was seeing all this demonic stuff inside her room. So she started sleeping with my parents, and they were invading her dreams. And finally, the guy that was with my dad, the one I used to hang out with, the palero that we hung out with, he started doing a work on that, and he found out who was doing what. And yeah, he got what he deserved, man, for doing what he did, for doing that, because we accepted him with open arms, man, because he was of that religion, and he paid our good for with evil, man. So he paid.
Is it no palitos good with eggs for breakfast?
Yes, Jaime, I used to practice Palo Mayumbe and Santeria, but I'm a Christian now, man. I don't do stuff like that no more. Yeah, exactly, Jaime.
They said we got a new subscriber. Uh,
Andrea,
Andrea.
54, Hector, how you doing?
Yeah, we hit the 3 hour marker in about a minute.
Just about in a couple of minutes, man. Two
How
more
much
minutes.
percentage you got?
I got 16%, man. It actually lasted the whole 3 hours, man. I'll be able to charge it here in a minute. I'm waiting for it to go to 3 hours before I sign off. But yeah, cousin, that dude right there, man, yeah, man, he's lucky that they didn't let me do to him what I wanted to do to him, man, because it was gonna get very, very ugly for what he did to my little sister, man. Cause
So
he scarred her, man. He
how old
scarred
was
her.
this palero?
He was in his 40s, man. He was in his 40s. Ya estaba viejo. My sister was maybe 18, 19 years old. Thank you, Monica. You're
Thank
54.
you.
Well, congratulations, August. My cousin is
Happy birthday.
56. I'm 57.
I don't even know how old I am, but tell you the truth.
You're a year
But
younger
congrats,
than me,
cousin.
man. So I know exactly how old you are. You're welcome, Prima Ivy. Big fat hand waving, Prima Ivy. Ooh, 3 hour mark, cousin. 3 hour mark.
There you go. There, yes, it's good. It was a good live tonight, brothers and sisters. For Lechuza Friday. We didn't talk
Lechuza
about
and Bruja Friday.
Lechuza or anything like that. But that's good that we didn't make the whistle sound because I think is Sister Cynthia here today? No, she don't
Yeah,
like
she already left. She
she don't
already
like
left.
Lechuza Fridays.
She
La
just
Duende
left
wasn't even
about
here
5
yet.
minutes ago. All right,
She
man.
don't like it.
I'm gonna get up out of here. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making this another good show. We enjoy when you come out here. I love doing this because I get to hang out with my primo and tell stories, man. And we had a lot of stories that are actually things that actually happened. But in saying that, may the Lord protect you while you sleep. May He give you abundance in the morning and all of the blessings that you got coming to you.
And see you Sunday, cousin. Uh, Sunday because tomorrow I'm not gonna do a show tomorrow, Saturday.
I never do shows on Saturdays because I go
Yeah,
to church.
yeah, I know. Uh,
Hey, hey
I know
Jaime,
somebody wanted me to do a show on Sunday. I don't know what time on Sunday, but I think it's earlier than when we go. Oh, but I'll let you know something on Sunday.
all right. Jaime, te bañas, te lavas, te tomas el agua. Bye, cousin.
Good night. There's good on there that you get the unclean spirit out of the house. You can do it. You just place heavenly spiritual crosses on the doorways and the windows, and do a cleansing of the home from room to room. To pray, take authority over any unclean spirit in there, and uh, tie by the rebuke in Jesus Christ's name and tell them to leave. And they'll leave. You can also call upon the heavenly angels to do a clean sweep of the home or the Holy Spirit to get rid of the unclean spirits. But it's good that you get rid and you. They like to hide in dark places, or they like to hide where there's the homes are dirty. It's like they like to infest with areas like that. But in saying that, we did good 3 hours. I'm trying to recuperate from yesterday because yesterday we had a we did. It just happened that way. But I need to get me some rest. I want to say thank you to the new members who subscribed, and to the regulars, to the moderators, to the guests, to all the people that come and join the chat. That we're able to talk and interact peacefully. Thank y'all. Uh, but I will get me some rest. Again, tomorrow there will be no show. Sunday, most likely, was when we'll do the show. Again, thank you for tuning into Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Brujos, Brujas, and Lechuzas. There was a strange activity happening with the internet and stuff like that, but that's okay. We still got it done. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Love, light, and blessings to you and your families. Just remember, you're never alone. The Heavenly Father is with you. As you maintain a love foundation, you can overcome anything through Jesus Christ. Amen, Andrea. Amen, Sister Monica. Saying that, signing off. Good night, everybody. Good night, bro.